ask a lonely keeper's crusade. Can you tell me I'm not insane? Sometimes I get this feeling about the law I'm dealing. Am I letting my reason wane? Have I been forsaken on this path I've taken? Check my head, I guess the joke's on me. Whoa. I'm not laughing at the irony. Oh no. So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? Wherever you're going, whatever you do, I'm out in the dark, keeping watch over you. So poison the ivy with your crocodile tears. We're climbing the vines to the heart of your fears. Can you tell me has something changed? The rewards are zero, cause I ain't no hero. Do you know it when you go strange? Is your taunting true? Am I as crazy as you? Check my head, I guess the joke's on me. Whoa. I'm not laughing at the irony. Oh no. Look to the sky at night. I scan the highest heights. Look to the sky at night. I scan the highest heights. So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? Check my head, I guess the joke's on me. Oh, I'm not laughing at the irony. Oh no. Check my head, the sky at night on me. I scan the highest heights. I'm look to the sky at irony. I scan the highest heights. So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat?
Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the NexVerse. We are in week 4 of season 4. As always, I'm your host, Captain Cardone, and today with me I have a guest that we have not seen before. Welcome, Halorin, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I am extremely excited to be here. Been looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you on. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now, actually.
Yeah.
Sending emails back and forth. We already had people lined up and, had to wait for an open slot to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to have you on. As always, this is our NexVerse championship, or not championship, our NexVerse tournament this weekend on Sundays. I know everyone's doing qualifier stuff. We actually have a very small, compared to normal at least, a very small group of participants. We had 17 teams sign up, I believe. Not all of them checked in, mainly because qualifiers, people are tired. They signed up beforehand, thought they could do it. By the time qualifiers got over, they decided, you know what, we're done. Kind of heroes out today. But, it should still be a great show, I think.
I'm confident that it will. I've been looking forward to this. The qualifiers are really interesting. I don't know if you had a chance to check any of those out.
Unfortunately, no, not really. Family came down this weekend. They live 7 hours away.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had to, we had to go do stuff like putt-putting and riding go-karts. None of the fun stuff like sitting at home and watching qualifiers. Apparently.
Sounds torturous. Just downright torturous. But the competitive NA scene is wide open right now.
Yeah, it is.
The qualifiers are any indicator. which is really exciting.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Because the qualifiers, I did hear that there were some upsets, some kind of interesting games going on there. So, I'm gonna catch them. I swear, I'm gonna catch up. I promise. I just have not had the opportunity to do so yet.
You're gonna be in for a treat when you
I
do it,
know. I know. Well,
especially the Gale Force esports.
yeah, and some of it has already been spoiled. So it is what it is. It's understandable. People want to talk about stuff, and I'm on Twitter. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that
you
causes
can't escape it
problems.
at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And being as involved in the amateur scene as I am, I think
Yeah,
now I have a hand in every amateur tournament. The only thing I don't really have a hand in is chair league. I think. I think I have everything else.
Chair League
So,
is where I got my start casting.
yep, and that's where I saw you casting, and that's how we started talking. But speaking of being involved in Twitter and all that stuff, right below us, you can find our Twitter handles. You can find me at Captain Cardone and Halorin at _Halorin. So feel free to go check us out there. I post all sorts of stuff about the amateur scene, even some pro stuff, just to keep people involved in what's going on. And I talk about our tournaments and basically all the tournaments now. So if you're ever curious about when a tournament's happening, go follow me. I'll let you know. So what are you putting on yours? What do you got?
I normally will post my comments like when there are amateur tournaments or the pro level tournaments. I normally will just kind of follow along with the games and see what other people are tweeting and make my own comments about how games go, like exciting moments and stuff like that. So I also try to point out when I'm doing casting in Chair League or if my team is playing.
Cool. So yeah, be sure to go check us out. And I have a couple of things to sell to you guys right before we get started here. Sorry. I'm told that I'm contractually obligated to do it, but I don't remember signing a contract. So either A, I was very drunk one night, or B, my regular memory just kicked in and was like, oh no, just forget it. It's okay. So first thing, if you guys want to help out or get involved here, contact us. You can email me, captaincardone@gmail.com. Go ahead and send me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, anything you need help with. If you want to get involved in the tournaments, you can put !NexVerse and sign up for next week's tournament. We have a 7-week season. 6 of those are free to everybody. The 7th week is finals, so 8 teams get invited and they play for money. And that money comes in the form of Blitzbucks. If you want to get involved on the other end, on the admin or casting side, go ahead and email me. I manage all the casters here on this show, on NexARAMas, that's our ARAM tournament, Heroes Hype, Sweet Synergy, Divergent Gaming. If you want to get involved in any of those, let me know. I have an in with all of them. So feel free to reach out to me doing that. And it's, I don't mind. I'll answer any questions. We'll try you out. We'll see what you got. If you want to, it's fine by us. Next thing is, if you want to help out but not get involved, you can actually give us free money. Yes, free money. It sounds like a scam. I know, it does. And it's not, which is the best part. So you just type in !Matcherino into the Twitch chat, and it'll give you a link to our Matcherino website. Hit the donate button, and if you put in our code word NexVerse2, with the number 2, not TOO, not TO, the actual number 2, it will give us a free $1 towards our prize pool for this season. We're hoping to get, I think, $350.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit. We're close, honestly. Like it's very close. I was supposed to have a little widget that showed you just how close we are, and I don't know how to make it work yet. I'm still working on that one. So please go donate. It goes straight to the prize pool. We don't touch it. Matcherino doesn't touch it. It goes to the people that win season 4. So go donate a little bit of money to them. They'll be happy to or that you did it. And I'm gonna try and get us a game real quick.
Sweet. Actually donated some myself.
Did you?
I did.
Thank you. We appreciate that because everything helps. I mean, even the $1 things, they help. It helps a lot. I mean, half of what we have right now is just from people putting in $1. And you think, well, that's how does that get you much? Well, they add up quick when you have 200 people doing it. So go ahead, go there, get that stuff done, and we'll appreciate it. And yeah, it's 1x and NexVerse there, 0max. But there's a sign up link. I'm glad somebody's already doing it. That's awesome.
Head of the curve there.
Yeah, yeah, way ahead. So I think we have our first draft. I'm going to send it to you via BNet.
Got it.
And it looks like our first teams are going to be Miasma Esports versus Tailwind.
Very cool.
So we'll jump into that draft just as soon as they're both in. We're ready to go whenever they're ready to go.
Looks like Tailwind Esports is already readied up. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I think the captain of Miasma was waiting for us to get in before he readied up. We appreciate that, man. A lot of times, yeah, a lot of times they'll start drafting before we're ready, and it's hard, you know, running all the production and stuff, trying to tell you guys all the things we need to tell you guys, and get all of the behind-the-scenes production stuff done too. We appreciate it when captains are on the ball and wait for us, help us out, because that's amazing. So shout-outs to all the captains doing stuff. Shout-outs to the admins behind the scenes who I'm watching try and sort things out. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it. It is so helpful to us casters when you guys are on the ball, so thank you very much. Apparently, you're on a casting couch.
I in fact am on a couch.
And you are casting. I think technically that counts.
You know, it's a phrase that it's come up a couple of times before, but yeah.
That figures. That is not surprising in the slightest, to be honest.
I'm surprised it took as long. Like, some people didn't notice. They're like, oh, that's not like a chair you're sitting on. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, some of us are sitting at desks. And you're
That'd
like,
be comfortable.
I could be in my living room. Sure,
I am,
all right.
in fact, in my living room.
I mean, I'm in my living room too, but that's mainly because I don't have anywhere else to put my computer. Alrighty, let's get into this draft, shall we? So it looks like the map is going to be Dragonshire. That's going to be our starting map for the evening. I'm glad both of these teams have esports in their name, or we would never know just what they do. Sorry.
Tailwind Fish and Tackle and Miasma Sports and
I was trying to take a drink and you're killing me. All right, I'm better now. All right, just choking a little bit. So Tailwind goes ahead and bans out Thrall. Excellent ban. He's really strong. I've been playing him lately. Wow. Yeah, he's much stronger than I thought he was. Like, he's still got the weirdest kit, and like you have to manage his abilities really well. But you know, that's it works out. It works out just fine.
Yeah, he has a lot of really viable builds. I personally like going for a more of an auto attack focus with follow through and giant killer and stuff. But the chain lightning build does a lot of work in and of itself.
Yeah, it does, and I think that's kind of the favorite right now. Miasma Esports banning out Falstad, another excellent ban, mainly because he's good at everything. I'm not sure I have seen a Falstad player not be good at killing things. Like it's really hard to build him poorly now, since his mage stat build and his auto attack build both work, and like you can do what MF Palytime likes to call zero stress Falstad, where you just take like all the talents that keep you alive, and you seriously never die. It's crazy.
Yeah, the barrel roll range extension, and I'm wondering if Miasma Esports has not yet seen the power of Kael'thas. Falstad, like you were talking about, is a very strong hero, but given Tailwind Esports, Kael'thas out of the gate might come back to bite them later on. I don't know if you've had a chance to see him in action, but his damage numbers are serious these days.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of the new KT in action. not since the buffs after the rework. But I hear it is pretty strong. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. And it looks like they're also going to pick up Dahaka. I'm glad he was added to Heroes Draft. He just got added today. So we were
Wow.
concerned that we were going to have to make like a blanket rule like, okay, Novas are now Dahakas or something like that. Just
rip.
yeah, exactly. Something like that just to do it. Miasma, though, picks up Li Ming and Zul, two still very strong heroes, even after their nerfs. So, good utility from both of them. Quite a bit of damage from Li Ming. Dahaka and Uther coming out for Tailwind. They wanted to pick up that support real quick, because honestly now Miasma just has to consider it's much harder for Miasma to ban somebody now, because they can't ban out the support for Tailwind, because Tailwind already has their support. There's no reason to ban that. They can't ban out Warrior, really. They could, but it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do that. So we'll see. ETC, that would make some sense. You don't really want a Dahaka and an ETC on the same side, but it looks like they're going to ban out Greymane instead.
Yeah, Miasma Esports, I would suggest going more towards a double Warrior front line, which might seem counterintuitive, having Kael'thas on the team. But Dahaka's drag into Uther's stun and Kael'thas's gravity lapse means near permanent lockdown right out of the gate at level 1. That's a very scary combination that Tailwind's put together.
It sure can be.
Rotoston, I play the game like this. I use my TV for my computer monitor. So, the more you know.
You sir, are a much, I don't know what the word is, but I was going to say better man, but that doesn't really make sense. Braver man, I think, is a better way of putting it than I. I'd rather have... I used to do that when I first moved out. I had my TV, my whole computer rig on a coffee table in my living room. Yeah, so like everything was right there, and I'd just sit on the floor playing. But I realized that after a while, your back hurts, like your arms feel weird. It wasn't working. I got to sit at a desk now.
Actually, I got a lift top coffee table, so it just raises up to me and kind of acts as a computer desk.
Okay, yeah, that would do it. That would definitely do it. Wow, that's impressive.
Draft though, I like the idea behind Miasma Esports composition so far, where Tailwind seems to be setting up more for lockdown and team fighting. Miasma Esports appears to be going for split pushing, siege potential by having Zul and Sylvanas. Li Ming still does a good amount of siege damage herself, but they're going to want to be careful because Dahaka can pop out of the brush at any moment and spoil the fun there.
Yeah, definitely can. That is true. We've seen that happen quite a bit, at least in non-professional play, non-organized competitive play, I guess. But I like Miasma's draft here. It's kind of unconventional for a best of 1. I think if they'd have been in the finals, which is a best of 3, this would work significantly better. But they have it's still a good, strong overall draft. They have plenty of damage. They have their warrior. They have Zul for lockdown. Now all they really need is their support. That's the word I'm looking for.
What support do you think they're going to go for?
Probably still Rhaegar. It's maybe Monk if they're feeling a little dangerous, but Monk quickly gets destroyed by a grab or a gravity lapse, so it's just kind of risky to do that. I'm expecting Rhaegar, maybe a Morales, but with Sonya on the other team, that if she takes a leap, Morales is dead, and yep, there's Rhaegar. All right, that's what I figured. There's not really a reason not to take her or him rather.
This turned out to be a very interesting draft, and both teams put together strong compositions. But I'm very concerned for Miasma Esports. They have the Stormbolt for Murden. They have Zul's Root, And you look over on Tailwind's side, and every one of them has some kind of serious lockdown. Should Sonya go for Leap, that would be a stun. Her Spear is a stun. Zagara has Devouring Maw. Uther has his stun. He might even go Divine Storm. Dahaka has his Drag, and then Kael'thas can talent to kick out Gravity Lapses pretty much non-stop. So if these teams are on an even level from like a skill standpoint, Tailwind has the edge, in my opinion, just for the ability to permanently stun someone.
Yeah, that's true. You make an excellent point there. That is a scary lineup for CC capabilities. So we're just gonna get ourselves into the game here in just a second. As soon as I can get a hold of these guys, make sure I get in the game. Oh, I received a friend request.
There you go.
Except it's not popping up as a friend request. There it is. Okay, cool. And let me make sure you get in, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting first game, mainly because the drafts are very different, I think, like in the way that they play out.
Yeah, they definitely have different goals in mind, and Miasma Esports is going to be... They're going to want to be very cognizant of that, because if they try to go against Tailwind in a straight-up team fight, Tailwind's Engage on paper stands to just overwhelm the front line for Miasma Esports. Or if they focus on one target, Rhaegar is only going to have cleanse at level 7 should he take it once every 60 seconds.
Right.
And
right.
Tailwind has stuns for days, so...
Yep, they sure do. I mean, you are right about that. I don't know. I like both. I like both. I mean, Miasma has a stun, a root, and a slow on their side as well. So it could be a very interesting matchup here, especially since both sides have pretty much the same amount of damage output, I would say. Sylvanas and Zagara do about the same. Leeming and I think the new Kael'thas do about the same. So it'll be interesting to see how they use that damage output to get, you know, stuff done. The wild card here is Sonya is extremely strong or extremely tanky, depending on how they build her.
Yeah, from a strategy standpoint, I feel like Miasma Esports is going to want to actually try to get ganks early on, and then just punish the ability to stack a lane with siege potential. I think they just need to get ahead on that front and never give Tailwind a way back into it. Because like I said, again, on paper, Tailwind's team fighting capability just seems to be a lot more potent for its lockdown potential than Miasma Esports.
Yep, I agree with you there. But we'll see as we get into the game here. And I'm ready to go. Who are we waiting on? We're waiting on Vital. There you go, Vital. Let's get this party started, shall we? And on the left side, we have Miasma Esports with Assmaster. Thanks, buddy. On leaving. I'm so glad I get to say that all game. Reno playing Zool. Golden Griff on Rhaegar. Swollen on that lovely Sylvanas. Ben the Magic J on Muradin.
And over on the right side, you're going to have Tailwind Esports, headed up by, you got Zero Max here playing Uther, Zenathar's on Kael'thas, Vital's playing Dahaka, Turtle Tosser is playing Zagara, and Quibsy is on Sonya.
And this is a pretty good, cheeky way to get up into the front here. He's waiting for that one person to get out of the way, and he misses.
Oh. But he stays on Swollen, who's going to have to back away. Zero Max did take a good amount of damage there as well. Muradin's going to want to be careful himself. The drag should be up now in a couple of seconds here, so you're going to want to make sure no one's getting yanked out of position. But Vital might be the first blood. He's going to be able to get away, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of burst healing potential on Zero Max there, so I'm not that concerned for his team at the beginning here, except if Vital goes in like this and just lets himself die.
And an interesting counter engagement there. The first blood is, in fact, going to be on Dahaka. I was really concerned that Ben put himself way out of position trying to go for Kael'thas, but the rest of his team was able to follow up elsewhere.
Yeah, well, when you have a Muradin, you're not really that concerned about damage output until your health gets below about a quarter of the way. Until then, you're fine. And as long as you have your jump up, you're still fine.
Very true. It looks like Swollen here is going to start using some of Sylvanas' siege potential to take down one of the towers mid as the temple phase, or the shrine phase, comes up here. Turtle Tosser setting up some creep in the top lane and pushing the Assmaster back a little bit.
Yep. Meanwhile, we have kind of an engagement here. Tailwind decided, you know what? We'll wait for him. We'll just stay here. We'll gank push him. It'll be great. It didn't really go their way, to be honest. I mean, they did all right, but not near as well as they needed to do, especially since the other team all just were able to tap. Mirrodin doesn't even have to tap. He can just wait for his health to regen, and he's good to go.
Yeah, they're definitely going to work on some of their chemistry and follow-up and ability to use that chain stun effectively. But Zenathar's going to go down. That's Kael'thas, the Fire Mage, out of the play here. And Mirrodin's going to have to jump away, but he goes down as well.
Yeah, so both teams using their stuns, their roots, their slows to excellent effect, making sure that the enemy team can't get anywhere. And Turtle Tosser up here is winning this lane, but Assmaster, like if Assmaster gets a good couple of hits off on Turtle Tosser, he's going to be in trouble.
He is, but as long as he stands on his creep, because looking at talents, did go for Reconstitution. He does have that going for him. Both teams are level 4, and right now Tailwind Esports has their... Whoa! Rhaegar goes down in the bottom lane as the first Dragonite is picked up for Tailwind Esports.
Yep, so as long as they're smart about this, they're just going to push a little bit. They need to push this lane up so that the Dragonite isn't taking as much damage. He does get some good positioning, though, to make sure, and ZeroMax is going to go down. That root, there was just nothing he could do about it.
Yeah, Uther thought he was going to be able to siege there pretty much indiscriminately after taking down Rhaegar, but whoops, he finds out the hard way that Zul does have a root.
Yeah, I mean, he was just stuck there, and he was taking cannon shots as well. So, interesting interesting turn of events there. Oh, there's so many stuns, but that healing and that stasis is going to keep Vital up.
I like this play from Quibsy a lot here. He kicked Renal way out of position, and Tailwind Esports started following up, and that forced Miasma Esports to come over and make sure he can get out there okay. But while that was happening, Quibsy was able to take down both these towers.
Yeah, he got a lot done with that Dragon Knight, and Mirrodin's going to go down in the middle of a Dwarf Toss, never the way you want it to work.
Excellent Super Mario Brothers impersonation at the height of the jump. He just explodes and goes down.
Yep, Turtle Tosser in a lot of trouble, though.
Ooh, just able to skate away here.
Yeah,
I'm
that
sure he's
Reconstitution
breathing a sigh of
doing
relief.
its job. That's for sure.
We do, you want to take a look at talents here? Both.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at those real quick. Kael'thas going for a lot of wind talents. That Gravity Lapse, he is all over it.
I think you're going to see a lot of this going forward in competitive play. The Gravity Lapse talents are very potent and powerful for him. And even within those, he has a few options. So,
yeah, I mean, you're right about the potency of that in Renal. Man, just not able to get out of there. That KT is so strong.
Definitely. Golden Griff finding out the hard way that supporting a squishy hero against Kael'thas is something of a tall order. And looks like the push from Tailwind's going to start backing away here in the bottom lane.
Yep, they need to. Zenathar is out of mana. He's just done. And a KT with no mana might as well be a Murky with no abilities.
Oh, but Quibsy here is setting up an engage on Swollen, who's going to be able to use his Haunting Wave to get away there. But the Spear did land. If ZeroMax was able to get his stun as well, that likely would have been another kill for Tailwind Esports.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there. If they'd have both been on the same page, probably could have done it. But they are a whole level ahead. Both sides going to get their siege camps here. So that'll be ready just in time for the shrines to activate, but they need to watch out. The other team is invading. It is a 4v2. It's about to be a 4v3 at best.
I love this play by Miasma Esports. A very gutsy move to come over here and invade. They know that Tailwind Esports is not yet level 10, but we do have Sylvanas going down here, and I don't know if that's going to be the end of it. Then the Magic J is able to use a Stormbolt to get away here for a disengage, and the Gravity Lapse just barely misses.
Yeah, but that's what Miasma needed. They needed that Gravity Lapse to miss, and it did. So they're still in this. Meanwhile, top we have Turtle Tosser and Assmaster going at it. Turtle Tosser is pretty much out of mana. He's not going to be able to pull off another stunt like that. And Vital comes up here most likely to die.
And the Magic J is up here with Assmaster putting some damage on Dahaka, and the drag does land, pulling him away a little bit. But they're actually looking to counter engage pretty hard. Vital almost gets blown up by Li Ming.
Yeah, and a wasted Maw going down on nothing. I wonder if that was a misclick there. Didn't even hit minions.
Yeah, that's going to be 100 seconds or so. They're going to be without that. Probably regretting that choice there.
Yep, most likely. Good use of abilities here to root the Dragon Knight. Make sure it's not getting a whole lot done. That Dragon Knight is already over half dead.
Yeah, even though Tailwind Esports has gotten ahead in experience and has, you know, more kills, Miasma Esports is responding well by chunking down the Dragon Knight the 2 times that they've gotten.
Yep. So I just want to do a quick shout out here. Hey, Mr. J Pickles. Nice to see you hanging around. Thanks for all the hard work you put in when we first started this whole business of casting Heroes of the Storm tournaments for RCS. We really appreciate it, man. You're great. Assmaster almost getting killed by that Dragon Knight plant.
Yeah, that would have been amazing if that kick ended up being a kill for them.
Those are always entertaining.
Right? They just like explode midway and then the ragdoll just kind of falls in some really awkward way. I get a kick out of that.
Yep. Zero Max needed to watch out. He is their support, and now he is stunned into a root. This is going to go bad for him.
A serious follow-up. The Poison Nova is going to make sure he goes down. Quibsy's in trouble as well, but the Ghost of Uther is going to make sure that Zenather and Quibsy are able to get back to their towers okay. And all 5 members of Miasma at the moment were in mid, and they're going to push the middle tower down.
Yep, so one of the things that I think people kind of forget is that Chain Bomb now exists all the time. There is no non-Chain Bomb.
Oh, it's definitely a real thing for these heroes, and melee-heavy compositions are going to want to be particularly careful. And Zul goes down mid-since. The Devouring Maw this time lands, and the follow-up is going to be serious enough for Rhaegar to go down as well in a 2-for-0 trade.
Yep, and Ben the Magic J smartly backing out of there.
Yeah,
Cannot
he took
really
a cursory
afford.
glance.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm just going to let you guys take that bottom.
You guys, you can have that. It's yours.
We're all friends. It's okay.
I don't feel like that's what he's thinking. But they're also going to get the Siege Golem, or the Siege Giants for free as well. Turtle Tosser, once again, going into the fray with no mana. Turtle Tosser, please, just go back. Did you take Battle Momentum at 7? You didn't. Okay. No, you did. I can't tell. Those icons are tiny. Why are they so small? Where are you, Zagara? Yes, Battle Momentum at 7. You need to go back. You have no mana, friend. I feel you. I'm a Zagara main. I get it. It hurts so bad. You want to stay in the fight because you know you can pump out damage, but without your mana, you don't pump out that much.
Looking back at talents here, I really like the pickup that Vital had at level 7. Feeding Frenzy reduces the cooldown reduction for each basic attack on the drag. And in a solo warrior setup, or in a setup where Dahaka is looking to kind of be on the front line, I love that talent because more drags equals more lockdown and kill potential. And normally that ends up with a follow-up and some kills.
Yep, so Cleanse was just used on Swollen there kind of early. Vital wasn't even trying to grab him, kind of putting himself in a situation to do so, but this is a free fort for them. The problem is they're going to lose a keep for it.
Yeah, this is a rough trade because the top lane is not where you generally want to push, and the bottom lane is. So Tailwind is definitely going through this keep wall. They're going to start pressuring the keep, and they get a response. The engage comes out. The Divine Shield makes sure that Zenather is going to start backing away here, and Sonya's going in for the kill.
Yep, almost got Swollen. Quibsy needs to watch out, though. I'm pretty sure he's dead on that Sonya. Zero Max probably in trouble here, too. Gets a heal off last minute. They just need to run. Everyone needs to run. Zenather gets a excellent gravity lapse off to get going.
Is it going to be enough?
Oh,
it is. He's got a shred of health. Zero Max comes in for the peel. Zagara does go down. Then the Disintegrate is long enough a reach for Kael'thas to go down, and that is a complete ace for Miasma Esports.
Yes, it is. That means they're going to get a free Dragon Knight here, and there's going to be probably about 20 seconds before anybody can do anything about it. Ben the Magic J jumping on this shrine. He wants it so bad.
This is turned around in the worst way for Tailwind Esports. They get wiped here. They lose the experience lead. Miasma Esports gets their level 16 talents, and they have Sylvanas. So whatever push they do, she's going to be able to lock down the structures and really capitalize on this advantage they've given themselves.
Yeah, so if they do this, yeah, so they're going to do this. No, keep Sylvanas bottom. Keep her bottom. I like it better when they split. I don't think it's necessarily important to keep Sylvanas with the rest of the team here because they could be getting 2 walls, although one heck of a fight is getting put up. Phoenix is used, so it makes sense to have the whole team, I guess. I just don't like it as much.
Personally, I think it's composition dependent. And when you have Telfos on the enemy team who has so much poke potential, I think you are better served by having your team split up when you have Sylvanas.
Yep, especially because Living Bomb now goes off all the time on everybody. It continuously chains.
That is Poison Nova. A pretty nice Devouring Maul captures a whole bunch of members of Miasma Esports, and there's 2 kills for the Troubles. Then the Magic J is going to be able to use his Dwarf Toss to get out of here, at least for the moment. But Zero Max and Quibsy are not done with him yet.
Yeah, he's getting chased hard, and Zenathar's coming up as well. Going to put a Gravity Lapse through the wall. Nobody there to capitalize on it. Just a little bit of scare tactics there.
I think if they communicated, like, if Zenithar said, hey guys, I'm coming up there, I'm going to stay on them, and Sonya came over there, that might have ended up being a kill on Murden.
Oh, they definitely could have gotten a kill there, I agree. But, you know, did they need it that bad? Probably not. It looks like they're going to get it now, though.
Then the Magic J is like, man, I just escaped death here a second ago. I rotate down here, and I'm back in the fire. Literally, with Kael'thas on the other team.
Yeah, in the fire. Yep. And this keep at the bottom is unprotected against these Siege Giants. They have to rotate down and take care of these.
And they do. They send a pretty big commitment of 4 heroes down here to make sure that Siege damage doesn't even take the wall out.
Yep, and that's exactly what they needed to do. But they have another set of Siege Giants coming, so that may be a problem for them because this Siege Giant, this set has a minion wave in front of it to take some of those hits. Both teams rotating top to get their bruiser camps. It's a good call. Good call. They're both going to be going about the same time. Although, slight problem, Tailwinds are going to die much faster because there's a whole minion wave there on Miasma's side. Somebody needs to go up there just to clear that out a little bit, cause some ruckus, do some damage. That'll let their bruiser camp succeed up there.
Yeah, on this map, the top lane is generally not where you want to put pressure on, but if you can take it, you definitely should take advantage of it. One of the interesting things, a talent that got picked up at level 16, Sun King's Fury, that changes the entire dynamic of how you play against Kael'thas because his auto attack damage is going to be unreal on anyone that has a chain bomb now.
Yes, which means at level 20 he might be taking the chain bomb infinite jumps. I don't remember what the name of the ability is, but basically it means chain bomb continues jumping from player to player, or hero to hero rather, indefinitely. As long as they're next to you, it's jumping.
I've seen games where Kael'thas dies, and then like 15 seconds. Oh, Kael'thas! Speaking of Kael'thas, he gets immediately deleted, and Quibsy is in trouble as well here. Disintegrate is going to get stopped by the Divine Shield, and he's going to be able to spin the win away thanks to some healing on Ben the Magic J.
Yep, and a good Maul goes down, but that means that their Dahaka is in the back, kind of in trouble. He has nothing left to heal himself with.
He is going to start wilding away as Sonya goes down, but that's going to be Dahaka as well, and this keep is in serious jeopardy. 3 members of Tailwind Esports is down. Sylvanas is going to be able to lock down his keep, and this could be the game.
It could be. If they want it, they can push, and it looks like they want it. They are going to push into the core here. I don't think there's anything that can be done to stop them, to be honest. There are no heroics up right now, mainly because KT is the only one with one, and he's dead. So they need some kind of miracle.
And I don't think it's going to come. They got their level 20 talents. Turtle Toss does a good amount of damage, but not nearly enough to stop this. The core is at 10%. And GG for Miasma Esports.
Yeah, that was an excellent comeback because at the beginning, Tailwind had a very, very strong opening. They had tons of damage going out. They were getting picks. They were using their stun composition that you mentioned to excellent effect, dealing loads of damage, but just not able to really do anything with it by the time late game came.
Definitely. Like I said, the team fighting potential was definitely there for Tailwind Esports, but like we saw in that last push, the moment Miasma Esports got any kind of advantage, they used Sylvanas and they completely pushed for the win there. They probably could have gotten it with or without Sylvanas, but she only made it that much easier for them to all be healthy and ready for the push on the core.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You are absolutely right. That's what they needed. That's what worked, and it looks like we already have our next game.
Wow, rolling right into it. I like it.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Really glad. It looks like it's gonna be 40 hands against. I'm not actually sure who they're playing against. Let me check the brackets real quick and update them. Oh no, I hit the wrong button. Dang it.
Oh, rip.
I went to pay my Visa instead. My bad.
1 pixel off.
Yeah, looks like it. Actually, look, there. It looks like there has been some confusion here. Interesting.
What's going on?
So 40 Hands is saying they're the ones playing next, but the brackets say they lost. Actually, the brackets say they tied, but they didn't move on, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there.
A tie would be pretty interesting in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah. So instead, we might just follow Miasma, and because they're playing up against RFS.
Yeah, that should give the admins time to sort everything out there, and we can roll right into the next game.
Yep, it sure will. And hopefully Inverum gets that message before it's too late, like last time. Okay, he did. Cool.
All right.
I messaged him last time saying, hey, do you want us to cast you? And we had already gotten into the game, and he responded with, sure. And then immediately was like, oh, wait, I messed up. I'm sorry. It's too late. So we'll have him get us a draft link, and we'll be good to go. Cool. Until then, what all have you been up to in the Heroes scene there, Halorin?
I have been doing some casting in Chair League. That's where I got my start in casting. I was really excited for Season 2 to start there. It's been very fun to watch. The teams that are showing up there, the amateur scene is getting bigger and bigger every day, and I really love to see it. I also have a team. I'm the captain and shot caller of a team called Shift Delete, and we've been doing some pretty exciting things ourselves. It's been a lot of fun. So definitely no shortage of things for me to do these days in the Heroes community, and I'm very much appreciative of that.
That's awesome. So if you're captain of a team, how come I'm not seeing you in any of our tournaments?
We were gearing up to do one. We did our first on Friday, actually, but the Sunday didn't quite work out because I had this casting thing to do.
That's not an excuse. You know what? What's funny is last week I almost casted NexARAMas and played in it at the same time. So it would have
been epic. It
has been known to happen before. It's not fantastic. I will just say that. It is not the best. Luckily, I had some people step up and say, hey, look, we can cast for you. We'll do it. And it was amazing because our normal caster was sick. His voice completely gone.
Oh, no.
Which I think he should have casted. I think it would have been hilarious. But that's just me. Turns out not everyone on the admin team agreed with me there. But, you know, I told them I was in charge and they told me they could fire me. So
that's a pretty nice comeback.
They're not wrong.
That's kind of the high card.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah. That's okay. It's not really a problem there, but we had people step up. Our very own Royalite stepped up. Imagination Man was already on the schedule, so he did an excellent job of casting, and they did well considering it was last minute. It was like 6:30 Central when we were setting them all up, and we started or 7:30 Central. We started at 8, so it was like a little hectic, little rushing around trying to make sure everything worked. But they did a good job. where I like said a whole bunch of awful jokes. They were bad. I have one. I will share with everybody. I'm sorry in advance.
When a joke comes with an apology as the precursor, you're in for a time.
Yes, so here is one of the jokes that was given last week, and I just realized I messed up the name of the stream, so I'm fixing that right now, I promise.
Rip.
Yeah, it says NexARAMas. It's supposed to be NexVerse. My bad, team.
I see in the Twitch chat, Bamorsha has commented on the apparent mood lighting that I have here in my living room.
So anyway, one of the awful jokes that we got last week on Thursday was, why is Malfurion a support? It's because he roots for his team. Yeah. That was Thursday. That was all night Thursday.
Well played.
Yeah, is that what we're saying?
Reaction, that's what I'm going with.
Okay.
My facial reaction is going to be pretty, like, I'm pretty sure I did like the fail fish emote where
it was good,
like, face palm.
Yep,
like,
your reaction to that was good. Yeah, so that was an interesting evening. We're gonna go with that. It was fun. Everyone had a good time. If you're interested in ARAM or you don't know what it means or whatever, I'll explain it right now. ARAM is all random, all mid. Luckily, Blizzard said, you know what? Let's just make a map for that. Like, let's just make an ARAM map. So they made a map, Lost Caverns. It's one lane. The fountain back at base, the safe invulnerable area, Hall of Storms, that's what they call it. That doesn't work, turns out. It doesn't do anything. So everything is you against the enemy team. There are globes scattered around the map, and you have your well, your healing fountain, of course. That's it. Everything else is gone. There are no map objectives other than destroy the core. There's nothing. You pick the auto select guy. He randoms you into something. You go for it. That's the whole thing. It is hilariously fun, especially if you're in the right mood and or drinking.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because it's so much fun. We had a blast last week. My team has made it to the second round every time, not always because we win.
Oh, okay.
We've had a bye twice, and then another week the other team dropped out because they only had 3 players show up. So we've made it to round 2 every week. We made it to round 3 one week, but it is loads of fun. You can get signed up for that by putting in ! NexARAMas. Yes, that is the same as what the name of this stream was just like 5 minutes ago. And it will give you the link to the sign up for next week. Get signed up. You can sign up as a free agent, as a team of 5, whatever you want. And we'll get you in. We'll make sure you're good to go. And let him know that we're good.
What have you thought of the Lost Cavern map so far?
I really like it. It does a great job of it does an excellent job for what it does. It's not intended to be a real map. It's not intended to be a let's put this in the rotation type thing. That's obviously not the goal because there are no map objectives. There are no comeback mechanics besides kill the opposing team.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you have. And you can get, especially if you all random into it, you can get absolutely screwed by your team comp. Just completely screwed. Our support, for example, ended up getting, I want to say Sylvanas last game. Our support player. It's like, oh no.
Oh, you haven't seen Sylvanas' support build yet?
Yeah, no, I haven't, and I doubt I ever will. Turns out I don't think it wins. But yeah, it's kind of interesting.
One of the most
that works.
One of the most messed up characters or heroes to get in on that map, Abathur, because you put the mines down around those globes, and it's just like
it's a bloodbath.
The most troll thing.
It is a bloodbath. Dude, everyone says Abathur's awful on that map. I think if you go full mine build, he's actually fantastic.
Hey, like he's borderline OP on that map because
Yeah,
of that.
like, and there's two builds. You can go full hat build or full mine build, and both of them work amazingly. The only problem with hat build is when you ultimate evolution somebody, they don't get any of the benefits from the hat.
Right.
So it's kind of weird that way. Now that we're done talking about this, though, let's get into the draft. Here we go. Miasma Esports versus RFS. We're on Infernal Shrines, and Miasma is looking to ban out Falstad.
Toss me the observer link.
Oh, I did not do that. I am very, very sorry. Hashtag production.
Production value.
There you go. My bad.
No, you're good.
My
thanks.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're jumping right into this.
Yeah, I mean, RFS does not play around. This is a team, of course, that we've seen actually in the regional, or not in the regionals, in the qualifiers, and they've been doing a great job. I mean, I know a couple of the players fairly well. I know their manager extremely well. Their manager is, or one of their managers, I guess, is NexARAMas. He's actually the one that put together all these beautiful screens that you're seeing tonight. He built all those. We paid him for them, of course, but he built all those, and I just got them today, so we set them all up beforehand, and they look so good.
Yeah, nice job, man. They turned out really well.
Yeah, they did. He did fantastically. And they, of course, are jumping straight into this draft. RFS
rolling.
has banned out KT, picked up Thrall and Uther. Meanwhile, Miasma banned out Falstad, picked up Li Ming, Sylvanas, and Johanna. That means RFS will most likely get Mirrodin here. Percival is an excellent Mirrodin player, so I expect him to be on it unless they're going to troll and switch people up. But I doubt it. We'll see Ethics on Uther. I'm not sure I've seen him play a whole lot of Uther. He's a fantastic support player, though. So I expect him to do well. We'll see.
Yeah, I like where Miasma Esports composition is going. RFS did get the memo that Kael'thas can do a little bit of damage these days, so they did ban him out. But Sylvanas, again, brings the option of just seriously pushing a lane either with the Punisher on this map or in a split lane fashion. So
yep, that's
really
true.
like that pickup.
That is true. And most of the time you want to split lane like that just because it tends to be a much stronger push. You get more out of it just due to the nature of split push, of course. So we'll see exactly how that works out for him, but I expect it to go well. And man, they are taking a long time on this second ban.
Yeah, they must have something either very specific in mind for the last two heroes of their composition. They're really trying to debate what could screw that over the most. And it looks like they've landed on Zeratul, so he's going to be their second ban for the draft.
Yep, and they're picking up Greymane. I expect to see probably Sleepy Bear on that. We'll see. He does like Thrall too, though, so I don't know. One of the problems, here you go, RFS. Here's something I'm going to say negatively about you because I've said too many nice things. One of the problems I see with RFS most of the time is they hardly ever pick up mages. They do have, their players can play mages, they just seem to prefer not to. And we'll see. Luckily, they're not going to hear me before any of this happens. But they just, I don't know what it is. They're just not a fan of mages, I guess. So we'll see what they pick up. They do need their warrior, and we saw just a second ago they were hovering over Mirrodin. They don't really need it yet. It's not like Miasma can ban it out or pick it. Or they probably won't pick it. That would be super trolly. Actually, now that I think about it, Miasma, please pick up Mirrodin and ETC and make RFS pick up something really wonky. I want to see it so bad.
They would be without a support if they did that, as hilarious as that would be. They did land on Vala here after hovering the double support option in Tyrande and Mirrodin, like you said. I'm curious to see where Miasma Esports goes with this. I like the idea of taking Vala. Like you said, Mirrodin's pretty much a foregone conclusion. So
right.
They used that opportunity for their fourth pick to make sure that they weren't denied anything they were looking to do.
Yep, exactly, and that's smart. I mean, and the other thing is RFS, they know they can get away with either a Mirrodin or an ETC and do just fine, especially since they have Divine Shield. They can Divine Shield their ETC going in to make sure he doesn't get destroyed when he mosh pits in case he misses somebody or he gets, stunned or anything. You don't have to worry about it. He's invulnerable, so problem solved. It's interesting to me. Miasma needs to pick someone quick. Of course, Rhaegar's coming out. Their last person, probably an assassin. They can't pick up Vala, and Thrall's missing too, and Greymane. Those are the big three right now. They banned out Falstad and Zeratul, and KT's gone. So what are they going to pick? I don't know. I mean, maybe a Jaina. Maybe they want to go double mage, but then they don't really have any support damage.
Looks like they're over in Toronto for double support. I was actually going to suggest Sonya. Her spin is very nice on this map during the altar phase for cleaning up those minions. But double support, Tyrande and Rhaegar has become a very popular support combination. But they go with Zagara.
Yeah, and I like that pick too. We talk about this every week. Zagara has no bad maps. Excuse me. There's not a single map where I have played Zagara and felt bad about it. They're just trolling. Please go Arthas, though. I want to see an Arthas. I know you're not going to, because Percival will smack ethics if he gets an Arthas. But, you know what? I would be okay with that, mainly because it would be hysterical.
It would definitely leave them on the outs for a hard engage over taking Arthas over Myrddin. But it looks like they're spending the last 20 seconds in their time pool to really just make sure that Myrddin's the last hero they want to go with. The only other big options I could think of would be ETC or Dahaka, but they showed Leoric there for a second. That would be a surprising choice to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's Myrddin. Of course it's Myrddin. I could see them playing Dahaka. I watched a couple of their scrims previously. They did try it, so I understand why they might pick it, but I think Dahaka solo tank is a little scary still. It's just not, there's not really reason to do it yet. It'll get there most likely, but we'll see. And I got invited to a custom game. Thanks, guys. And let me invite you in.
Yeah.
And then we'll get going, hopefully. Gotta wait for the whole, all of RFS. But it should be okay.
All right, in the lobby. So, who do you think got the better composition out of this draft?
That's a weird one. It's a weird one because I like Miasma's composition. They went with the Sylvanas. They have quite a bit of damage here, but I've seen RFS play and they are excellent on all these heroes. So it makes it for a tough decision just because it's kind of interesting. Just kind of interesting.
In the category of siege potential, I think Miasma Esports undoubtedly has the edge there. The wave clear from Night Takes Pawn speaks for itself. Sylvanas, like we saw, can definitely, take an inch and turn it into a mile as far as pushing goes. And in terms of team fighting, I feel like RFS has come out ahead. Myrddin's Stormbolt into Uther's stun gives Greymane all the time in the world to use Go for the Throat and then get the free proc off of that and just delete another person. And when you have Zagara, Sylvanas, and Li Ming as targets, that squishy, it could definitely be very tide-turning in a team fight.
Yeah, you're right about that. It sure can. What, guys? What are you doing? What? I'm so confused. Anyway, we're gonna jump into this in just a second. Well, I don't
lobby chat though.
I know. It doesn't make any sense. But you know what? We're gonna let them go. They're having a good time, and that's what's important. That I will always say this. I don't care if you're a pro player. I don't care if you're brand new to the game. I don't care if you have the internet that rides on the back of a slug. If you're having fun and you're not hurting anyone else doing it, go play games. Like that's what it comes down to. You're winning in that case. If
life lessons.
Yeah, exactly. If you're having fun and playing a game, I don't care. None of the rest of that matters. You can win, lose, have fun. That's the point. So,
I like it.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to get into the game right now. I got to change out my team names. I'm glad I actually know what the team names are or what the player names are. Sometimes we get new teams that I've never heard of, and I can't remember what their names are. It's difficult to figure out who's who. But these guys, I know all of them for the most part. I think Swollen is a little new to me, but everyone else I recognize. So let's get into the game.
Hashtag caster problems.
Yeah. Oh, man, life is so hard. I'm sitting here talking about video games.
Brutal.
Yep. On the left side, we have Miasma Esports with Ben the Magic J playing, playing Joanna there. Reno on Zagara, Golden Griff playing Rhaegar, Swollen once again on that Sylvanas, and Assmaster on Li Ming.
And over on the right, you're going to have RFS. Ethics is going to be playing Uther. Sleepy Bear is going to be on Vala. Percival's playing Murden. Is that Needham or Needham playing Greymane?
We call him Hammy.
I like it. Hammy's on Greymane, and Lord Satan's rounding out the composition on Thrall.
Yep, that's just kind of... Maybe Buzz called him that once, and I just kind of went with it. It turns out half their team calls him that too, so yeah.
Easy choice there.
Yep.
And speaking of needing ham, both teams are trying to clash here in the mid lane. Swollen's going to eat the lion's share of the damage. Which is interesting pun with Hammy's selection and skin for Greymane. But Sleepy Bear's going to want to be careful in the back line.
Yeah, Sleepy Bear, of course, really good at right-click to win heroes. I don't know what it is, but you give him an auto-attack hero, he is good to go. Meanwhile, top, we're going to have Renal and Lord Satan split to come up here. And because I did that, I missed Joanna dying, but I'm sure it was epic.
It, in fact, was. 4 members of RFS hung out in this party bush. Johanna felt that it was safe, felt that it was okay to go into this bottom lane, and it turns out not so much.
Yeah, she learned pretty quickly, I bet. So I'm really loving this rotation from RFS. They, of course, I mean, they know their rotations, they know their numbers, they have it figured out. Percival there just scouting. Ben the Magic J could be in trouble again, but the rest of the team isn't there to help capitalize on this. So Percival's just kind of laying down the smackdown until Ben backs off. They're just beating each other up. I love tank fights, dude. It's so fun. Just what I got into a Chen fight the other day. It was just I was playing Chen, they were playing Chen. We just started smacking each other. Lasted forever.
Chugging every few seconds, like no health bars going down. Just
yeah. There was. I think we both walked away with full brew and full health, and we were just like, "We're done. That's fine."
It's like, all right. Well, at least we've padded our numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Our hero damage numbers are gonna look fantastic. Meanwhile, in this game, we have a shrine already spawning. It looks like it's gonna be a Mortar Punisher. And Swollen and Renal up here ready to go. Lord Satan trying to hold off the pack. Meanwhile, the rest of RFS is mid. I imagine they're gonna rotate up to try and get this. They don't have to, so it makes sense. I think I'm okay with that. And Renal could be in trouble here. Tons of stuns going down. Not enough damage.
Showing their CC potential there, and Renal's gonna be lucky to get away with his life. I like the idea that Miasma Esports here had. RFS was level 4 first, but they were aware that RFS was in the middle lane, so they edged out a small lead and got 9 of the minions pretty early on while they were still level 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well that's gonna, or how much that's gonna help them though, because RFS just diving on top of Golden Griff there, trying to put as much damage as they can. They're not really getting much done. They're losing this Immortal fight. They're soaking up. They're a half level ahead. But other than that, there's not a lot going on. Percival could be in trouble here. Loads of damage going down on him.
Barely Dwarf tosses away to barely escape. And then Swollen's on the pursuit here, giving Hammy some trouble. Percival is pretty low. A heal from Uther does not stop the bowling ball from Li Ming to get them. And that's 3 quick takedowns for Miasma.
Yeah, and Miasma didn't lose anybody. Ben the Magic J was very close. Honestly, Ethics just needs to go bottom or go somewhere else and soak. They need to get an advantage. They are behind on experience now, and they just need to soak up. They're going to send probably 2 or 3 up here to defend this against the Mortar Punisher coming out. But with Sylvanas there and with these front gates pretty much gone, this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, the general convention of just having one person make sure that the Punisher comes back towards the fort is going to be kind of weak here with Sylvanas being able to lock down the structures, because that's damage that's not going to be going on the Punisher, and that means there's all the more siege potential. They could very well take this top fort. I don't see how they come away without it at this point.
Yeah, that's true. If RFS dives on the heroes, they have a chance. A lot of Miasma is out of mana, so they could be in trouble if RFS dives. But I mean, even the roaches are going to take this thing down, it looks like.
Yeah, the orb from Master is not enough to get the fort, and it has like a shred of health left.
Yeah, it does. But Golden Griff going down quickly here. A couple of stuns, a root, lots of damage from Hammy there. That was pretty good. Pretty good. They're going to try and get this camp here. Fantastic choice. Swollen going to spot this out. Not really going to be able to do anything about it. They can now leave without really any penalties to them. They can go pick up theirs, they can go pick up the bottom one, and be just fine. Looks like they're going to rotate bottom first.
I like the heads-up play here from RFS. It really speaks to their ability to strategize and work the map. They had lost the Punisher, but they were sure to get back into their 4-man rotation and catch Miasma Esports effectively off guard. I'm sure that they were coming off, you know, like, we just got the Punisher, we're going to start relaxing here. No, because Rhaegar is going to get jumped and blown up immediately.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly true. Thrall up here needs to be careful. This building is almost dead. They have no way of cleaning it back up. Nobody has Mule. So Renal, being in Sagara, is going to be able to push that down really quick if she wants to.
I definitely agree there. In the earlier stages, Lord Satan was holding his own up against Renal. But once that top fort goes down, he's not going to have the home base there. But as we say that, he puts on a ton of damage on Zagara, and that's going to be a takedown 1v1 to keep the top fort alive.
That's excellent. I mean, Rhaegar, or Rex, Thrall rather, just going through all the Horde characters. You know, I'll get there eventually. Thrall, of course, able to put tons of damage on people. Zagara not having the highest health pool. This, though, is an Arcane Punisher. They need to get this one.
Yeah, this one's going to be really important. Both teams are on the verge of hitting their heroics. Should Miasma Esports come away with this could be a serious snowball that's near impossible to get back from.
Yep. So I do want to point out, and Verum just mentioned tonight's games. They're gonna go through each game and have a different person on their team call all the shots. That is very interesting. I think that's awesome to give some other people the opportunity. I think Ethics usually does it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how the other teams do. That was really weird placement for that maul. It didn't get anybody. Sundering coming out. Swollen could be in trouble here, especially if they get a root or a stun, but not able to. Bend the Magic J could also be in trouble. No mana left on that. Orb comes in from Master, misses. Just barely able to split, not take that damage. And they have 35 of these Guardians already.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get this first Punisher, or at least they should. And Assmaster, oh, well, as we're talking about that, Rhaegar does go down, and that's for sure going to secure the Punisher for RFS. But Assmaster's going to want to be careful there. They were doing some pretty nice flanking, trying to do some poke damage, but the way they were positioned, RFS could have turned on him pretty quick and blown him up.
Yeah, they didn't want to, though. There's not really reason to, because this Punisher is still pretty weak. You don't want to take that chance. I don't think this Punisher is going to get anything done, to be honest. They might get this fort as long as everyone behind this pushes hard. They are going to get a very good talent advantage, though, or level advantage, rather. They may also get a kill on Ben the Magic J. Need to be careful. Swollen going down.
Yeah, that was really cool. One thing that I saw there that I really liked from Ben the Magic J, Grey Mana jumped in there as the guard goes down.
Oh, Ethics. Ethics, that was close, buddy. That was really close.
Right? But yeah, Grey Mana jumped in there, and then Ben the Magic J used their blind at the perfect moment, because I'm pretty sure if they didn't, you'd have been dead right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That blind, of course, completely destroys Greymaide's damage output. Everything he has except for his what does he toss? The little vial stuff? What is that called?
Yeah, the cocktail?
Cocktail, yes, except for the cocktail, thank you. I could not think of it. The cocktail is the only thing that really does ability damage. Everything else just helps his auto attack.
Looks like Percival and the crew are making a very aggressive play here, taking the Bruiser camp in the top left corner, and Renal's in no position to do anything about this. And I really like that play. I think after these past couple of Punisher phases, RFS has identified that they're not going to win this game through sieging.
Yep.
Yasma Esports got the first Punisher, and they pretty much got a fort out of it. RFS got the next one, and they barely got the wall. So they're definitely going to look to do picks here, which they're getting, and Rhaegar explodes out on the front line.
One Sunder, and he was just done. I do want to ask, Inverum, who is calling the shots in this game? Just out of curiosity, if you can let me know that in chat in about 2 and 20 minutes, or 2 minutes 20 seconds. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. You probably sent it to me. I see 2 things in Discord, so I'm sure that information is already to me somehow. But I'm really curious to see, because this is a very different playstyle than we usually see them play, and I think that's great.
Showing some flexibility, especially at competitive play, is always important. You don't want to become a one-trick pony or not be able to demonstrate some kind of flexibility. So for them to change up their strategy keeps the enemy team on their toes because they're not sure what to expect. I do like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And, of course, Inverum is sending me tips on how to fix screen stuff or make it look better. Thanks, buddy. Can't really do that right now, but we'll work on that later. For 20 minutes, this looks pretty good, considering I have no idea what I'm doing.
And it looks like Yasma Esports was originally content with giving up this first Punisher by letting them, letting RFS get a bunch of minions here, but they did go up for the engage, and they might end up regretting this as Ben the Magic J is nearly dead. Gray Man is on the pursuit there. RFX eating a huge orb from Li Ming, but it's going to be Sylvanas going down as well as Rhaegar in a 2-for-0 trade on the side of RFS.
Yep, and that's, RFS, this puts them in a huge lead. It's a frozen Punisher, so it'll get quite a bit of building damage done, provided those frozen parts hit anything. What was that? Usually those target things. I don't know what they were targeting there, but they normally target things. We'll see. They're just getting no luck with those. Oh, well. So they're definitely getting this fort. They'll probably get some damage on the wall here in just a second as well, because this Punisher still has about 1/4 of his health left.
Definitely. It's going to start walking up to this keep wall, and I don't know how long they're going to want to stick around here. Yasma Esports is back to business with all 5 of their heroes. So yeah, RFS is going to start backing away.
Yep, they got some damage. A lot of ammo's being used up by these 2 towers here. So that is pretty good for them. Meanwhile, bottom, we have Sleepy Bear trying to defend their fort, and the teams are going to try and take some camps. Ben the Magic J leading the charge right into the RFS. This could be a problem, especially with Sleepy Bear coming in the back like that. Sunder goes out, only hitting 1, but it's enough. It's going to be their healer, and he is most likely dead. Oh, he is just barely able to keep himself alive. Renal, on the other hand, not capable of doing so. Percival desperately needs a heal.
Not as much as Sylvanas did, because they just went down the hard way in that team fight. Golden Griff had to run away like his hair was on fire with the kind of pressure that RFS was putting on him. So they're actually kind of lucky to only get away with 2 kills, or to only lose 2 teammates when RFS was so close to hitting level 16.
I've been informed that Sleepy Bear is calling this one. Thanks, Inverum. Appreciate that. It's really interesting. I love watching kind of semi-pro teams scrims and stuff, and listening to how they shot call, what they're doing in the background. So I've watched RFS scrim quite a bit, honestly. So seeing them play with somebody else calling the shots, to me, is very interesting. And it looks like it's going to net them this camp here. Maybe?
Well,
Yes,
I think we're learning a lot about Sleepy Bear here, because he definitely likes to stay aggressive and on the front end.
Oh,
Rhaegar
yes.
goes down again as RFS starts taking this bruiser camp. And Yasma Esports, if they want to turn this around, they're going to want to have to regroup somewhere and change their strategy.
So their problem right now is they are a talent tier down, and they have a level and a half before they catch up. That is brutal. And they can't really come up here and defend this, which means there's not a lot they can do. They just have to soak lanes.
They're doing what is probably the most comfortable thing that they can do, and what I feel is the best thing they do. They have Sylvanas on the team, so they're going to lose the shrine. They're not level 16, so they can use Sylvanas to get some of the bottom fort. They got that, so they're half a level away from 16. But RFS is aware of this. They're not just going to go up S5 and take the shrine. while they had this advantage. So they take the whole top keep wall down with the bruiser camp.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, this puts them in an excellent position. Honestly, I'm kind of upset that Miasma did not take the siege camp down here while they had 2 people down here. They could have done it. RFS had to back off at some point anyway, especially with the amount of damage that Li Ming and Sylvanas, or not Sylvanas, Li Ming and Zagara were putting out. They had to back off because Sleepy Bear was taking hits, Percival was taking hits. They needed to go back sometime. Now they're getting this camp, but it's a little late. It's not going to get anything done. RFS is going to be able to pick this shrine up and then rotate down and destroy that before it gets any work done. So I'm not entirely sure what the goal there was. I mean, they defended well. They have 16 now. They're on even talent tiers, but I think they're still behind.
I agree with you. I think their movements for the past few minutes have been a little delayed and too reactionary. I think if they wanted to come back here to protect this keep, they could have done it a little sooner. They did get back here in time, but they very well could have caught themselves in an interesting spot where only Reno was up here, and they could have lost him pretty early. The Punisher is coming in here. It's a Mortar Punisher, and the keep is already down to nearly half health, so that's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. And Miasma Esports is effectively just looking to stop the bleeding here.
Yeah, so this was really smart of them, actually. They baited the Punisher over to their other buildings. That way it didn't go straight to core after it finished that keep at the top, and it meant that RFS had to get the keep themselves. They had no help getting it, which is great. And they are looking to push a fight here. RFS could be in some trouble. There comes a stun, but Unstoppable popped. We'll see exactly how much damage Miasma can do. A missed maul from Reno there. That's going to be a huge problem, especially since Sunder comes out, destroys the team, puts them right into a Reign of Vengeance. Yeah, they lost 4 people. Assmaster is the only one left, and it is not looking good. I think this is going to be game. RFS, you said it earlier, Percival is extremely aggressive. He's saying, go core, go core, go core, and the GGs are already being called.
Oh, definitely. A golf clap to Lord Satan, because that was a very impressive sundering. Single-handedly won that team fight, I feel. It definitely set up what's going on right now. The core is gone. GG. Victory goes over to RFS.
Apparently it's Reno's birthday. Happy birthday, man.
It was very birthday.
Yeah, that's that was brutal. That was a brutal end to that. I mean, at the beginning they did well. They were keeping up. They did a good job of fighting. They did a great job of getting a couple of kills, putting some pressure on. They just weren't able to keep it up. My nose really itches. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, okay. All right, it was killing me. Sorry. Man, that was brutal. But yeah, that game just very strong from RFS, even with other people shot calling. I'm sure that was really weird for their team to have to listen to somebody else call the shots, but I think that's great. That's how you grow. And even if, let's say that Ethics continues calling the shots for them, it will really help them grow and learn when other people do it, because Ethics can then pick up things, pick up other ideas, other strategies that, you know, he could incorporate into his, or whoever they decide is doing it at the end. I think that's fantastic. So good job, RFS, for you know, just continuing that your awesome playstyle there. That was fantastic. And Miasma, hope to see you guys next week. You did a great job, but unfortunately you're out for tonight.
And one thing that I would point out about Miasma Esports' performance there, after the first Punisher, Golden Griff got caught out in the middle lane because RFS was very quick to get back into their death ball. But every Punisher after that, the ones that they did lose, they adapted. They got right on the aggressive. They got very, you know, they went over and went for the siege camp. The fight itself didn't go that way, but I do commend the effort to, you know, not just continue to do the same thing.
Right, yeah, I agree with you there. I'm going to see if I can fix our logos real quick, because I think I know what he's talking about. But we're going to also try and get into the next game, and we're probably just going to follow RFS because the gentlemen are already waiting for them. Oh, so wow. We should get the next one in just a second. I'm getting a hold of RFS Manager to get the next observer link for the draft. And this time, I promise I'll send it to you. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad you mentioned it. I've had people just like not say anything. Just like, oh yeah, that is really interesting. I'm like, man, why did you say anything? It's okay. Call me out. If I mess up, it's all good. Like, That's stuff I need to know. But it happens. So
No, it's cool. I got it before the start of the draft, so we were all okay there. Um, RFS put on a very impressive display for me. That was really one of the first times I've had a chance to. It's the first time I've casted them. Definitely one of the first times I've really got to sit down and see their play. And for them to have a different shot caller for that game that speaks to the level of cohesion and chemistry that they already have, because they moved in a very tight-knit fashion throughout that game.
yeah, they did. And that's like you said, that was a brand new shot caller for them. I'm sure they've tried it before with everybody calling shots, but it's probably been a while because for as long as I've known them, Ethics has been calling the shots. They are a very strong team for amateurs. Sorry, guys, you're amateurs. Once you make enough money, look, I love you guys. You're awesome. You know that. But once you make enough money that you can play pro, that you can play Heroes of the Storm for and live off of it, then I'll call you a pro team. That's my opinion, of course. It doesn't have to be that way for everybody, but in my opinion, if you want to be a professional at something, you should get paid for it. Until then, you're an amateur. You might be great. You could be awesome. That's okay. But you're still an amateur. So, but good job. That was great showing. And let me see if I can fix some of these logos real quick.
Well, we certainly haven't seen the last of them. We're like you said, we're setting up to see them square off against the Gentlemen.
Yep. And the Gentlemen, of course, we've seen them play a lot here in the NexVerse. They've played NexARAMas with us as well. I'm pretty sure I've seen them on Divergent Gaming and Heroes Hype and Sweet Synergy. Those guys are everywhere. They're a strong team. They're a strong amateur team as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the weird shot calling of RFS functions up against a team that is going to play for real. We've seen them do well. They're going to play a solid game. We know that already, unless they're also doing weird things. You never know. That's what these tournaments are for, is for people to come in and practice and figure out what works best for them so that they can move on to being a pro team, so that they can get paid for the things that they need to get paid for, for playing the game rather. We want that to happen. We've seen teams do that. Guster Bus played with us, and they're in the qualifiers. Like, it's fantastic the way that people have been able to start here. They're advanced in the bracket.
I think it's really cool because it creates a narrative in a North American scene. The people who follow the competitive scene and check out websites and read the news about team roster changes and who's the most dominant, when these teams transition into those larger tournaments, the more professional level, those guys. You followed them, you've seen their success, so it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like the brackets got a little messed up.
Okay.
I think the Gentlemen are still playing. I think somebody accidentally clicked something wrong. So can we get... I'm going to get the other one. Shadow of Crow and Noob Phalem apparently are provided the brackets are right. We'll see. It's been a little bit of a miscommunications here. So we'll see if that's going to work for us in on your game. Thanks.
It would be interesting for me to see Noob Phalem. My team actually played them on Friday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of playing with Rubies a little bit. He's a great guy. He offered to jump in on a ARAM team of ours, and we had a blast. We just playing around, goofing around for fun. So he said, "Hey, I'm here. I want to play tonight," and we're like, "Sure, why not?" So they are in the map ban phase. Let me get you this link.
See,
I told you I'd do it. I promise.
On the ball.
Yeah, things happen. Oh well. Cool. So they're gonna ban out some maps. We got 5 left, so I'm not gonna go through them. That's too much. And I've been told that the in-game, one is where my problem. The in-game overlay is where my problem is. Okay, cool. So this is what we're gonna do. You guys are gonna get to see the in-game for a second while I try and fix this.
Now, as they're going through the map ban phase, I am deeply shocked and saddened to see the Garden of Terror was banned.
Oh man, yeah, I know. I cannot believe that.
I don't
That's
think you'll ever see that map in competitive play. It the changes from the last patch have just made it pretty awkward, even
yes.
more than it once was. So a team might want to practice it, to have it as a pocket pick, but for the most part, I think its competitive career might be over.
Yeah, it's a very interesting map in the sense that it does not get a whole lot of love. It's just a strange map. I like the changes that they made to it, but I don't think that really fixed anything. It's just a different map now.
Yeah, they just kind of like mashed it up a little bit, but it's still overall the same bundle of awkwardness. The draft has started though. New
Yep.
Salem had first pick, first ban. They took out Thrall, and then Shadow of Crow responded by banning out Li Ming.
Yeah, and both of those excellent bands. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Thrall, excellent solo laner and tons of damage potential. Li Ming, of course, still has lots of damage output. So, excuse me, understandable that you would not want to deal with her at all.
I'm wondering if teams are sleeping on Kael'thas and they're not aware of how much damage potentially does. Question for you: would you rather play against Kael'thas in his current form or Li Ming in her current form?
I would rather play against Kael'thas. It's
Really?
easy, in my opinion, it is easier to deal with a Kael'thas than it is a Li Ming, simply because if you want to chain bomb me, that's fine. You have to stand next to me to do that. Have fun. Like go for it. If you're that close to me, I'm killing you. You're not getting out of that. And if I'm not killing you, there's a problem. Like we're already losing. It's not KT's fault. So you know what I mean? It's that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Now I realize chain bombs aren't his big thing right now. His big thing is his ability to use flame strike at such a long range. It's kind of easy to get out of, especially if you have a mobile hero. It's super easy to get out of. So I'd rather play against KT than Li Ming. Li Ming, I mean, the damage output is still really strong. She's got a good kit. I don't know. It's just me, though. Meanwhile, these drafts, Illidan and Tyrael, first pick, immediately off the bat. That's really interesting to me. I love these two heroes, and I love them together. And the Spring Championship showed
Yeah.
us that Tyrael is a god if played right. So I think this is great. The problem, of course, being you pick those two off the bat, you can easily, like, there are ways around those two heroes, and that hurts. I think you can outdraft that pretty easily. Meanwhile, New Phelan picked up KT, of course, Sonya and ETC. ETC, I don't like the pick this early. I don't think they should have picked it up already. The Sonya, fine. The other ETC, nah, because it's ET once again to deal with. So I'm not as much of a fan.
I can see the reasoning behind it. Shadow of Crow taking Illidan this early in the draft, they're more or less relying on Tyrael's sanctification to keep Illidan alive. Because once he dives in, Sonya, ETC, and Kael'thas are going to have an absolute party with his face because all the stun and lockdown is going to be more than enough to take him out. Malfurion does have some pretty nice single target healing, but it is more over time. So I'm concerned for Illidan's safety. He might end up on a milk box by the end of this.
Yeah, he sure could. But with sanctification available, of course, that's pretty good. And the heal over time on Malfurion, coupled with his ability to heal himself, I actually really like that combo. It's not as great as, like, a D shield on Illidan is obviously better than healing him. But you don't want a D shield on ETC. Please pick up that Artanis. I would love to see a triple warrior.
My eyes lit up the moment they started hovering Artanis.
I love Artanis. You have no idea. He played with the right build. He never dies. I can go through an entire game, Hero League game, and die twice before level 10 and never die after it. That is an Arthas pickup. Huh. It is triple warrior.
Oh.
I mean, oh, okay. All right. All right. That's going to hurt Illidan quite a bit.
Definitely. All kinds of lockdown for Illidan once he jumps in there. Before they picked Arthas, they were hovering Tyrande and Tychus. And I actually think Tyrande might have been the way to go here. It's another stun for Illidan, and the added support should definitely would have given them the opportunity to survive whatever initial burst that Shadow of Crow has to offer here. Because pretty much they're relying on Jaina for the hard engage, and then Illidan to catch people, either in rotation or just to add sustained damage after their engagement.
That's absolutely true. I don't know. I like the triple warrior comp. I think that's interesting and entertaining. So we'll see exactly how that works out for them. And I do not have a rubies on this friends list. How did that happen?
Rip.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. He's on my other one because we've played together. So let me get him. Let me get him to add me in there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Oh well, stuff happens. Life goes on. Let's see just how it works. And it looks like Formation Gaming actually won. The gentleman lost that game.
Oh wow.
So yeah, brackets were just messed up. It happens every now and then. People accidentally click the wrong things. It can happen. Oh, Droplets invited me. Thanks, Droplets. Appreciate that, man. And let me invite you, get you into the game.
Cool.
Awesome.
So with Nuke Phalem's composition, they're pretty much saying, Illidan, we dare you to go after Kael'thas. We dare you. If you jump in our back line, you're not gonna like what happens to you. So long as Sanctification's off cooldown. Zerial's ability to land those effectively is going to win or lose this game, I feel.
Yeah, that's true. It will be exactly that. So one of the things that I expect to see is when Illidan dives in, I expect to see Tyrael dive in with him. Just Eldrain's Might right into the middle of the enemy team and immediately lay down Sank. That will make sure that Illidan cannot die, even though everyone's going to try and burst him into oblivion. But he's invulnerable, so everything misses, nothing hurts him, and once everyone has burned all their cooldowns, he just cleans up along with the rest of the team.
I agree completely. Shadow of Crow, and keep in mind, they have Diablo on their team. They have Diablo, so they're pretty much saying, we're going full ham, hard engagement, and we're just going to take a team fight in the first 5 seconds. And Nuke Phalem's going to effectively have to pull a judo move and just, take that advancement and turn it against them. So I'm really curious to see how these team fights play out. And they're going to happen a lot on Battlefield of Eternity. Yeah,
there's quite a few skirmishes, brawls, whatever you want to call them, happen in the middle of the map here, going after the Immortals. I expect to see both teams just try and burst theirs down. Now, the question there is, will... excuse me. Man, that hurt. Will Nuke Phalem actually want to race Immortals? I don't think so, just because they have Triple Warrior. They do have a lot of damage, but it's not as much as what, it's not like Shadow of Crow's damage. They have so much sustain there and quite a bit of burst from Jaina as well. They can win that. They can win a race pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't think either team really considered their sieging or burning potential on the Immortals with these compositions. It definitely, to me, looks more like they were just looking to win a team fight and then take the Immortal after. Kael'thas does do a good amount of siege damage. Sonya has good sustain herself. Arthas has his E, and Rhaegar can put the lightning shield on someone for more damage. But I agree with you. I think Shadow of Crow definitely has the edge here when it comes to racing for Immortals.
Yep, I agree with you there. And let's see which team is which. So on this side we have Shadow, and on the other side we have excuse me, Nuke Phalem. There's an apostrophe in there, isn't there? Okay, cool. Fixed. I love it when teams come up with weird names, but sometimes it's just not helpful. Just saying. You know what, guys? Make whatever names you want, but make them easy for us to type or say, please.
Think
Appreciate
of your
that.
poor casters.
Yeah, yeah. Think of the casters. Yeah. Oh well, we'll live.
I think we'll make it out of it. I'm excited to see this game, though. I'm wondering what kind of strategies these teams are gonna look to pull off.
Yeah, that's my question too. I love the triple warrior. I think that's fantastic. We've actually seen that the Asian scene do triple warrior quite a bit, especially right before the spring championship. In their scene, just in their regular games, they were playing triple warrior all the time, and it works pretty well, to be honest.
It works best when you have Kael'thas on your team, so you don't have to worry about chain bombs, and they were sure to make sure they definitely made that happen by taking him first.
Yep.
So I like how they set that ability up.
Yep. So on the left side, we have Noob Phalem. We have A Rubies playing that Kael'thas. We have Droplets on Sonya trying to make sure I can't tell who they are. Astaroth playing ETC. Nespar on Arthas, and I love that skin. And Tone Phone on Rhaegar.
I think they took Arthas just for that skin.
Dude, that
Over
skin
on
is
the right
amazing.
side, you got a Shadow of Crow here. Illidan's being played by Cocoon. Cheeky's on Diablo. Capo's on Malfurion. Hackins? I'm just gonna say
We'll
Hack
just
is
call
on
him Hack.
Jaina. Yeah. And Alejo Magno is on Tyrael. These guys are putting us through the paces with these names.
Yeah, they are, and they're already trying to destroy this this gate here. I love it when teams do this, but it's also kind of cheeky and mean. So
It's mean. But they don't even
Droplets.
finish it. It's just a shred of health left, and a nice shove onto the root is gonna secure first blood, and their cheekiness does not pay off for them this time.
no, yeah, most of a gate for a kill, not a great, not a great turn of events there.
Not a trade I'd go for anyway. They're gonna have two people from Shadow of Crow rotate up top to start pressuring there, and down bottom they're gonna have the other three. Malfurion and Illidan and Diablo. They definitely have kill potential should they land their engagement correctly, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, Cheeky, I don't know why he just ate that bomb. He could have just waited until it exploded before walking in there, and he was like, nah, I'll just, I'm Diablo, what do I care? I can take a hit. Don't know why. He's already fountaining too. I don't like that.
Well, over in the top lane, Jaina found out the hard way that there were two people from New Phalem hanging out here. I think Nesper was waiting for an ambush. I didn't catch it specifically, but Jaina did go down the top lane.
Yep. And down bottom, though, we're going to have one heck of a fight. Capo is going to go down along with Illidan, and it's not looking good for the other two either. Nesper also going down. Alejo needs to run. That's going to be enough. A Ruby's able to put the rest of that damage on, but taking quite a hit from Tyrael exploding. So a 3-for-1 trade, that's a good trade. Now they can race.
Yeah, Captain, there's been fireworks in this game from the very start with these team fights.
I see what you did there.
You like that?
They have Kael'thas. I get it. I get it. I'm with you. That was good.
Yeah, added range on Flame Blast was definitely enough for Tyrael to go down there, and that put them in the driver's seat to win the first Immortal.
Fireworks.
You like that?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah, they're trading an Immortal for a camp? I don't...
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that call. I mean, they weren't going to win that Immortal one way or the other. But at least take some of the shielding off, because a full shield means that it's going to have, the range damage, and they're paying further. Diablo gets caught out there.
They're taking out this well, too.
Wall. Oh, man.
Go core. Go core. Go core.
3-minute game, GG.
Dude, that would be amazing. I know they can't live through it, but I just think it would be amazing. I love the Arthas pick here. He is constantly doing damage to Illidan. Every time Illidan dives, he just presses E, and Illidan starts taking damage. Meanwhile, this building up here, or this Immortal down here, is already pretty much through the wall. They're going to get a keep out of this, or a fort, rather.
That was a really interesting play by Noob Phalem. I like it. You don't see it very often when you have that much shielding on your Immortal for your whole team to just commit to a whole different part of the map. I think it definitely took Shadow of Crow off guard.
Yep, and Capo, oh my goodness.
Oh.
How he had nothing left. That heal over time just barely keeping him up.
Yikes.
Oh, no. No.
Nice
Cheeky.
power slide. Cheeky's in trouble. The chain bomb's probably going to be enough. He goes down, but Astrobov might be paying the price for sticking out here for too long. Illidan does secure the kill there. Ruby's, Nesper, and Tonefone are about half health, but I think that's going to be the end of this engagement.
Yeah, the real problem is they have no mana. Meanwhile, Sonya, droplets up here on Sonya is just like, oh, you thought you were only defending bottom. No, I'm taking your top 4.
Yeah, you might
have fun.
Yeah, they might want to rotate up there and consider that before long. Droplets is going to head up to their siege camp and start taking that. And one of the things I was curious to see is if Illidan's, jungling potential would come into play here. And so far, they haven't been in a position to even think about that. They're too busy trying to get to level 7.
Yep, Droplets just needs to leave. There are 3 members of the enemy team here. Capo, just barely missing.
Hiding out in that bush, he does get spotted by the Moonfire. And
Capo, run!
Yeah, he's in trouble there. But Cheeky comes around, was threatening the Shadow Charge. They're going to back away.
Yep, I will say that I have not ever seen this team. This Shadow team, I have not seen them ever before. But going up against somebody like Noob Phalem, who they have a lot of pretty good guys on their team. None of them are new to the scene. All of them have been playing for a while. They're not doing that bad, considering. It would be like if me and my friends went up against them, I think. And I'm not that bad of a player, for those of you that believe I am. So, Iverum, before you start talking.
Preemptive response there, I like it.
Hey, look, man, I gotta protect my pride.
Hey, I understand.
What little is left.
They've been holding on here, but they have not yet hit level 7. Droplets and Cheeky are squaring off here for the fight on the top lane as the Immortals do come up. And you're going to have Noob Phalem again starting to take the charge here. Both teams are, in fact, doing their Immortals now. I like that Shadow of Crow identified. It's not a good idea to let them come away with a full shield Immortal.
Yeah, the problem is, though, nobody was here. They only had 3 people. Why? Like, they're so late on the rotations. They need to speed those up. I love their team comp. I think it's fantastic, and they should probably defend here as well. But they got to get more done with this.
Yeah, they've had a hard time really setting up a team fight on their terms, which is not what you want when you have Illidan here. But they do manage to take down Arthas. Tyrius goes down as well. The explosion on Astrobov is not going to put him in any kind of danger. But it's looking like the second Immortal of this game is going to go over Noob Phalem.
Yeah, and while they don't have a full shield, they still have a pretty big shield on their Immortal, and they're 2 levels ahead. Noob Phalem is just running this map. They are in full control of everything going on, and it looks like they're going to leave a Ruby's down bottom to push this out just a little bit. He could get caught. No, he's going to rotate. Okay, cool.
I'm curious. Well, he's rotating up. I was going to say, be curious to leave him down there. I feel like you want Kael'Thas's poke potential when you have such a big advantage. Like, they have level 10 now.
True,
and
but
Shadow of Crow they're like 2 levels away from him.
That's true. You bring up excellent points. The only reason I can see KT staying bottom is to do a little bit of damage, or a lot of damage to those minion waves, and that is not Mosh.
Wombo combo.
Yeah.
Arthas' Syndragosa into stage dive, into the leap.
Oh my goodness.
Serious damage.
So I want to point out that is why Jaina needs Ice Block at 13. Because these heroics are not the ones we expected. We have Bloodlust. Holy crap. So we have Bloodlust. We have Stage Dive. We have Syndragosa. We have Pyroblast. And we have Leap.
What's really surprising about this to me, and we might be looking at an 8-minute game here. The shield is melted down immediately.
The Immortal's too strong.
Yeah, they don't have their heroics yet. They can just right-click the core at this point. It's only 30% left. And Noob Phalem looking very dominant, taking this game.
Yeah, that was an impressive display on Noob Phalem's part. Like we said, we've seen those guys play quite a bit, and they do a great job. But I'd never seen this Shadow team play. I wasn't sure how they were going to, what the plan was going to be. It just felt like they weren't exactly all together. I don't know. I think one of them was speaking Spanish earlier in the Discord, so there's a chance maybe they're a South American team, and if they are, great guys. We want to see you back. We want to see you guys come back and play more. Bring some other teams. If you have friends down there that play, tell them to get involved. We love it. We want you involved. for sure. So come on back. But yeah, that was quick. That was really fast.
That was something of a clinic that Noob Phelan put on. I mean, they showed the power of that Wombo combo that they set up, which I didn't see coming at all.
No,
and
me
they
neither.
only needed to use it once.
Yep, one time, and they had the game. I mean, they had the game. That's all it was to it, and I think that's great. But thanks for coming out and playing, Shadow of Crow. Noob Phelan's moving on to our finals match, actually. Wow, it is 8:45 here, and we're already almost at the finals match. We're waiting on Formation Gaming and RFS to finish theirs up so we can know who is left. Of course, we have a much smaller team count tonight because of the qualifiers that are going on today. A lot of people are tired from playing that. A lot of people are tired, maybe don't want to play tournaments from 8 o'clock in the morning until midnight, which I don't blame them for. You guys get some rest. We'll see you back next week. Yeah, that would be nuts. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. That's a marathon.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of teams have done it. I mean, that's fantastic. Thank you. But I don't blame you for sitting this one out.
Yeah.
So let's go over a couple of things real quick, and then we'll take a short break while we're waiting on RFS and Formation Gaming to get back. So first thing, of course, I am your host, Captain Cardone. I'm here every week. If you want to get involved in casting, if you want to know what's involved in adminning tournaments, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. You can find me on Twitter at Captain Cardone. You can also email me, captaincardone at gmail.com. I respond to that frequently, so if you have any questions or anything, let me know. I'm happy to help. If you have any comments, send them there as well. I'll pass them on to whoever needs it passed on to. It's all good. Halorin, where can they find you at?
On the Twitter, you can find me on twitter.com/_Halorin, and I also do casting and stream every now and again. You can find me there on Twitch TV or twitch.tv/Halorin. Really easy.
Yep. And you can find both of those, both of our tags below our names. You can find me on Twitch too. I don't stream that often anymore. There's too many esports things going on. Like I said earlier, I think I'm involved in every amateur esports event except Chair League. That's the only one that I don't actually have a hand in, and that's just because I want a day free sometime. Yeah.
Who needs a day off? Who needs a day off?
Man, there are times where people are like, hey, can you fix this? And I'm just like, no, I'm done. I quit.
I don't blame you.
It's, there's a lot going on. So follow us on Twitter, and I'll keep you up to speed on the amateur scene. Halorin will keep you up to speed on probably Chair League and what's going on there. I already got invited to a custom game. We are not getting that break.
Oh, wow. All right, I like it. Let's go.
Yeah, that's fine. RFS is done. Wow. So let me get a link there from our friendly.
I mean, they're all in the lobby already. Like they are rolling through.
Oh wait. Which game is this?
Percival. So that's RFS.
It's RFS. Oh, this is a semis. They haven't started yet.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So we got some casting ahead of us yet, then, Captain.
Yeah, I guess so. I thought they had already started. I mean, I looked for their draft link, and it said they started. It said they drafted 13 minutes ago. So I was like, okay, so they're not. They're done. They're in the game. Like, we can't join that. I guess they weren't in the game yet. So, Thanks, Percy. Appreciate that, man. Getting us in. You don't want me. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, look, guys. If you're ever getting casted by us, and you put us in the game, hey, there you go. You just got a shout out. Best Chair League caster.
Making my night. Thanks, Mamorsha. I appreciate that a lot, man.
Yeah. So you ever want one of us in the game? You pull us into your game. Please put us in the observer link. We're happy to play for you. Don't get me wrong. We will gladly play, but we can't hear you. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what hero we got. It's kind of a mess.
But we'll try. We'll try.
Oh yeah, we'll play. I love playing. Just don't expect results is kind of where I'm going with that one. Does not typically work out.
Yeah, they've rolled right through the draft and everything. We're in the lobby. Everybody's ready and we're loading in.
Yeah. So let me fix our team names here, and we'll get started. So on. Oh, that's Spurbeck's team. Okay. All right. I'm with it now. So we have RFS on the left. FS, and I think the other one is Formation Gaming, but I'm gonna double check just to be sure.
That would be good. It's Formation Gaming?
Yes. Cool.
All right, cool.
I don't want to put the wrong name up. I feel really bad. I'd laugh about it, but I'd feel bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this party started. On the left side, we have RFS. This time, Sleepy Bear playing Tassadar? What?
Follow the Tassadar, exercising some versatility.
Okay, Lord Satan on Illidan, Needham playing KT there, Percival on ETC, of course, and I missed one, Ethics is playing Uther.
Over on the right, you're going to have Formation Gaming. Master Earth is on Malfurion. Spurbeck's on Greymane. Bamortia is on Zeratul. Belarius is on Tyrande. And Switty Crew, GG. It's rounding out the composition on Murder.
So a BM Al there, Bad Manner Al sent out. There's one spot in the gate where you can send out Als through there. And just trying to slow them down to the mid, trying to make sure they don't get out there. And Formation Gaming being very smart about this. They know RFS has a reputation for doing damage, for taking care of business, and they said, you know what, we're gonna let them have the spot there, the smiley face watchtower. That's what they're called. Everyone says smiley face in quick match in Hero League, so that's just kind of what I got used to calling it. And they just backed off. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I was
looking at these compositions, RFS Gaming definitely seems to have the edge of the level 1 game. They have a lot of dimensions to their lineup. You have the hard engage from ETC, the sustained, hassle from Illidan, but you also have the backline poke damage from Kael'thas.
Yeah, you sure do. So I want to know who's calling the shots on this one. And Verum, if you can let me know. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And we have the temple spawning in about 5 seconds here. RFS in a good position to take them. Tassadar going down. Must have been in the bottom lane there, which is Sleepy Bear dying on that Tassadar.
And that's perfectly timed for Formation Gaming right as the temples come up. It's going to force RFS on the back foot here a little bit. They don't want to get caught outmanned. So Formation Gaming's going to get the initial shots off of the middle temple as RFS Gaming is going to rotate up to the top.
Yep, and this is exactly what they need to do. They know they can't really take the middle temple there. So rotating up to the top is a good plan. Lord Satan, of course, able to solo these things for the most part. I'm not sure exactly how well Illidan does, but it looks like he does pretty dang well. So
yeah,
I think that's going to be no problem at all.
Yeah, one of the best solo junglers in the game should not have too tough a time. But we do have a pause here.
We do indeed. Ethics pause in the game. Asking for a pause there. Probably some kind of lag issue. Yep, lag on Lord Satan. God is punishing Satan. That's amazing. Rip Central. Yes. So, for those of you that don't know, the Central server is awful. Absolutely awful. I don't know what they did. I don't know if they burned it to the ground first before turning it on. I don't know what happened. But on every other server, I can play on the Asian server. I can play on the Australian server and get 60 frames a second. High ping, sure, but not bad enough to where I lag. I can't do it on the server that is literally in my area of the country that I live in. I can't do it. I don't know why, but I can't.
Didn't they get rid of the Eastern server a while ago?
They did, and it killed everyone in even people that lived in Central were playing on the Eastern server, and they got rid of it. So now everyone on Central and Eastern plays on the Central server, and it's horrendous, to be honest. It has gotten better lately, but it's still, I mean, there have been times tonight where I've dropped down to 30 frames per second and ridiculous ping. And that shouldn't. I have a $4,500 computer, and I spend a lot of money on internet as well. I have very excellent internet, and I still can't do it. So, come on, Blizzard.
I think they make enough money by now.
You'd think so. You'd think so. Oh well, that's enough of my rant about lack of ability to play the game how I want to.
Formation Gaming is going to rotate up to the top, and I don't think they were able to get the last shots off of there, but they are going to push RFS Gaming back. I was taking a look at some of the talents here. You have a cocktail build for Greymane. Most of the talents look pretty standard, but you see Master Warp Blade for Zeratul. I was kind of expecting Vorpal Blade.
That I think Master Warp Blade is actually kind of the go-to now, mainly because it allows him more mobility. It lets him jump in on somebody without using blink, so he can still blink out. Ethics, that was an excellent dodge of the singularity spike there. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with you. Vorpal Blade, the added mobility is definitely key. Because Master Warp Blade, you have to hit someone 3 times in a row before you get any value out of it. And when you have ETC on the other team, you have 2 point-and-click stuns. So if you sit out there for the time it would take to attack someone 3 times, you might end
probably in trouble.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just got confirmation that Needham is... Wow, that was a really good owl.
Right.
It hit Percival right off his mouth. It was fantastic. Needham is calling the shots on this one, so we'll see how this differs from our earlier game where we watched... not Hammy. Sleepy Bear call the shots.
Well, Needham's in a little bit of trouble here. That was a nice rotation by Formation Gaming. They rotated around from the left side of the boss and got the kill on him pretty handily. Nice rotation.
Yeah, not a lot of vision on this team here. And Lord Satan could be in trouble. The whole team is going to rotate here and try and take this. I think Zeratul needs to come back.
Definitely. I'm curious about this call. I don't know if it's going to go RFS's way, and it doesn't look like it is. Yeah, Illidan goes down. Ethics explodes as well, and Percival is just going to have to say, all right, guys. All right.
It's yours. You can have it. Yep, it's all yours. Have fun. Somebody's saying you can play on the Australian server. I can't do that, and I live in Australia. Actually, yeah, my link there is not so bad. I haven't done it in a while, so it could be worse now. But it's not too bad, surprisingly.
I never actually tried.
The EU servers are fine. I get about 100 ms ping over there, like 120-ish, somewhere in there. So it just depends.
Yeah.
Spurbeck going in deep, not going to live through that. He got a cleanse on himself, but when you're dead, cleanse doesn't do a whole lot.
No, you can't clean that one off. Percival hit a nice power slide there to allow that to happen, and then Kael'thas's damage was more than enough of a follow-up to get the kill there. So even though they lost the initial round, the initial volley of shots here, they are going to be able to rotate down and claim the last bit. And they're pretty much, both teams are on on even pace to hit level 10 pretty much.
Yeah, they are. RFS is slightly ahead right now, but it's mostly building damage. I would have liked to see them do more building damage there instead of letting the Zap Zap Tower, as I like to call it, thank you, Krendor, instead of letting the Zap Zap Tower do it all. If you put some damage on those shots, get a much more vital building in this fort instead of taking down walls. So, put some damage on the gates, on the towers there. They could have had this fort down if they'd have pressed just a little bit harder before backing off to do that. Now they have to be careful, though, because top is a siege camp with Spurbeck just doing some damage.
Yeah, they are making sure that they at least get a trade out of it. It looks like they're going to rotate up top to stop Greymane, but they do come away with the bottom fort. Them having their heroics just a hair longer than Formation Gaming put Formation Gaming on the back for long enough for them to get that.
Yeah, it sure did. Everything's pretty standard except for Starfall.
I think you're going to start seeing more of Starfall, especially in situations where they have a double support lineup. Starfall does a ton of damage now.
It does, but that's not why you took... Like, honestly, you never took... I don't even remember the name of the other one now. Go me. You never took the other one for its healing. Like, that's not why you did it. You did it because it makes your whole team invisible. Like, think about having 5 Zeratul on the other team.
Oh yeah, no, Shadowstalk speaks for itself in terms of what it can do here, but they haven't needed it so far. They got the kill on Uther even after baiting out Divine Shield.
Yep, and I'd like to point out, Percival, that was amazing, that play you just did. Where, so for those of you that missed it, he saw the boss about to go into his animation to deal or to stun people, and he immediately dove in, stunned the other team into that hit, and then as he was walking out, pushed somebody back into it. That was amazing.
Very heads up play. I like it.
Yep. Yeah, RFS very heads up here, but not able to get really a big advantage.
Yeah, neither team are really postured to take, much of anything after that scrape. Even with Uther going down, the next set of temples do come up in the middle and the bottom lane. Percival was already up here to start taking some of the shots off. And right now, RFS has the command of both temples.
Yeah, it's not going to last. They got about half of the middle one. They need to back out, though. Percival trying to peel for his team. Not going to be able to do it. Ethics, you need to run, buddy. That Starfall is kicking your butt.
That was a beautiful engage from Formation Gaming, though. That
it sure was.
Bolt hit 2 people, and then that set up the kill for the Starfall. Percival did have a nice mosh pit to counter engage, but the damage follow-up wasn't there.
Yeah, and they could lose Ethics and Percival here if they're not careful. They're splitting. Ethics is going to go down. Percival going to be in trouble when Spurbeck comes around. Although the best healer in the game is there. Ghost Uther here to save the day. Spurbeck might be in trouble with Lord Satan and Percival, but nope. It's not going to be enough.
Well, here in the middle lane, Sloopy Bear is trying to take RFS Gaming to Juke City using his Dimensional Warp and some of his fancy footwork to dodge Storm Bolts. And that alone was enabled him to mount up and get away there because
I don't think Formation Gaming knew what they wanted to do there because they kind of left to go help their teammates, but it wasn't determined right away. You know what I mean? They could have gotten Sleepy Bear or they could have helped, but they kind of stuttered and weren't sure what to do, which means this temple is now hitting the backline defenses. That is a tower down on that back line.
Yeah, the 3 forts are down for Formation Gaming, so they're going to want to be particularly mindful of these temple phases. They have done a good job of getting takedowns right before the temples come up, so they're not out of this by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, their takedown game is fantastic. It is 2 takedowns on RFS side to 7 on Formation side. If they keep this up, they will have so many more kills, and especially late game. If they can get late game kills, it is amazing how much they're going to be able to get done with those long death timers.
Yeah, Sky Temple is one of the most snowbally maps in the game, so longer death timers are going to pave the way to boss pickups, pressure with the bruiser camps and siege camps, and of course the temples themselves. So if they stay on this track, RFS has to be aware of this, and they're going to make sure they either start getting some takedowns themselves or making sure they're not getting taken out.
That's true. They are a level ahead, though. Droplets is saying with the buff to Starfall, there's a lot more of it in the competitive scene. Yes, there is, and it does quite a bit of damage, and I like the ability. If I have the option between Starfall and something that makes my entire team invisible and my entire team is on comms, I'm probably going to go with the invisible one because think about what you can do. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't use Shadowstalk for the invisibility. They use it for the heal, and I never understood that because the invisibility is so strong, so powerful. You can literally get a 5-man team wipe if the enemy team doesn't know that you're coming. We see it all the time with excellent flanking maneuvers, things like that. A Tassadar using his Oracle right there. You know, vision is so important, and when you can't tell where the other team is, you can die very fast. So that's why I like Starfall more than... Or that's why I like Shadowstalk more than Starfall, because it adds utility that otherwise your team simply does not have.
Definitely a strong point here. Even though RFS Gaming only has 2 takedowns, they have played the map better from a siege standpoint. They're a full level ahead and a talent tier ahead. So Formation Gaming is in something of an interesting spot because if they show up anywhere on the map, They stand to be on the bad end of a team fight, but it looks like they do something gutsy and go for the boss.
Yeah, but this has been spotted. Everyone is roaming down now. They have to leave. They know this.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that they went for this. It would only work under the assumption that RFS Gaming was just going to stand on the temples and not try to hunt them down. And RFS Gaming, they've played this game before. They know how to work an advantage, so they definitely came down to hunt them. And at worst, they were setting themselves up to get wiped under the boss, or they could have just given the boss like, oh, we'll take it down half to half health, and then you come around the corner and finish it and take it. So.
Yep. Inverum Cawthon pulled top damage to every game with Tyrande. Yeah, but you could do that before without Starfall. Like Tyrande is really strong anyway, so it's not really surprising. Did they not get the final shots on that? No, they didn't. Okay, all right.
I don't think I've ever seen that. There's literally just the last set of the last shots. I
think they just stepped off too early. Because normally you can step off and it'll shoot itself, no problems. Right. I think they just stepped off a little too early.
You have some heroics coming out here, so there is a commitment to this team fight. Phoenix got used there, so that's going to be down for a little while. Oh, this is serious. The Void Prison comes out. Swifty is really low, gets a heal, and Lord Satan's going to have to start backing away on Illidan. Percival sliding in on Bamorsha, trying to lock down Zeratul, but he's okay for now. And Swifty's back to business with full health, and Greymane's in the case.
So, Mosh Pit just came out, but Swifty had just used his stun. That wasn't a great Mosh Pit, but it worked in their advantage surprisingly well because Swifty did not have a stun left.
This fight definitely probably was not as clean as either team would hope for, but for right now, it looks like RFS Gaming is coming out on top, and it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade.
Yeah, that's a 3-for-1 trade. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. And the final shots on this middle temple are going to go out and not quite take down any buildings. Ouch. That hurts. Meanwhile, this keep in the middle for formation is just so low. Look at it. It's so low.
Yeah, at any point, they can go over there and sneeze on that, and that's going to be free experience.
Yep.
That's something that Formation Gaming is going to want to keep an eye on, because the next time they lose any sort of team fight or advantage, that's win condition right there.
Yes, it is. And meanwhile, they're going to pick up this boss. Percival's in an excellent position to scout this out. They know the enemy team still has a man down. All they can hope for is a good VP, but they might get a kill because Lord Satan.
Zeratul with the counter engage gets blown up, but Illidan does go down. I don't know if you saw that, but he dove right into the boss stun, and then Formation Gaming took full advantage of it. So he almost died right at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really well done play by RFS there. That could have hurt. Oh, Sleepy Bear not quite able to get that wall off where he needs it. Needham out of mana, gonna be in trouble. Sleepy Bear going down. They just need to run. Ethics, keep everybody up, and you're good to go.
Al keeps them dismounted, but the last 3 remaining members of RFS are going to be able to skate away with their lives. That was a very gutsy play by Formation Gaming to go in there with Meriden just starting to come back, but they made the most of it.
Yeah, they did make the most of it, but the problem they have now is this boss is kicking their fort spot, or their keep spot, rather.
That is definitely true. They should be happy that their middle keep is the one in jeopardy in terms of health, as opposed to the bottom one, because that would have been the keep for sure. Yeah,
the problem they have now is, though, that RFS, once they hit 20, they can walk in and take down both of these no problem. And they won't have to. If they get a good team fight on top of this shrine down here, that's it. Both those keeps are going down.
This is going to be the most important fight of the game, I feel. Both teams are on even talent tiers. Formation Gaming has everything to lose. They have 2 keeps that are nearly out. The shots from this temple is going to take them both down should RFS Gaming get them. And they're half a level away to level 20. I feel like Formation Gaming needs to go in now.
They do. They absolutely do. But Sleepy Bear here coming in on the backside, revealing everybody. Going to be in trouble. Going to use his dimensional shift to get out of there and heal up a little bit. Both teams need this to go in their favor.
Definitely.
As odd as that sounds, both teams need to get kills here in order to get anything done. Although this top keep, it looks like there's going to be a problem.
Oh, wow. You want to talk about value out of a bruiser camp? I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that keep was like full health at the beginning of this.
It was,
it's
and it had a
gone.
tower.
They're gonna have to respond to that, or they might just lose this game to Winions.
Yep. So I think that VP actually hurt them more than it helped, because Lord Satan going in on the backline, destroying Belarius. Belarius is down, but KT is also down. Sleepy Bear needs to heal up. Ethics, I mean, everyone's hurt. Everyone is hurt.
This is such a wild game to call here. This team fight is intense. It's a bloodbath. Everybody is low.
It is.
Spurbeck is on the verge of dying. He goes down. Malfurion goes down. So now it's 3-1 so far. But don't count out Zeratol because he explodes as well. And Meriden is the last man alive for Formation Game.
There's not a lot he can do either. It looks like the rest of RFS is just going to die. Oh, they're not even going for the... Lord Satan, you are so cheeky. He's just going core. This is a bad plan, man. Bad plan. Bad plan.
Oh man. Oh no.
This is bad. This is real bad. Percival, please back off and just get on the tower. Guys.
I don't want to say the T word, but that was rough.
What,
that was
terrible?
Throw.
Oh, no. I was like, no, it was terrible. Not a good plan. Sleepy Bear, of course, really aggressive. Or not Sleepy Bear. Who is playing Illidan? Lord Satan, very aggressive. We see him do stuff like that all the time. And it's, he's having fun doing it, so good on you. But, man, you can't go core by yourself as an Illidan. It will destroy you.
Yeah, you can't evade that. That was ambitious. It was ambitious by Lord Satan. Thankfully enough, the lead that RFS Gaming has gotten has put them in the position to win this game regardless of that. You'll be up in 10 seconds, but RFS Gaming, they just want to back away here.
Yeah, they definitely do. It's not a great fight. They got what they needed. They have all the keeps down. Ethics, please tell me you have Divine Shield, but you do, but not enough time to use it. And do you have Benediction? Is that what it's called, Benediction?
He has Redemption. So
Redemption.
He's gonna come back up.
Thanks. Although he came back up in a root.
Yeah, Malfurion landed an excellent root there, and it is going to bait out the Divine Shield because he's not coming back this time. He does go down. He loses it all, and this might be the beginning of a serious turnaround. Formation Gaming, they only have 61% of their core left, but they are getting the shields back. They could push and win this.
They could, but they have to hurry because they have 2 lanes literally on their core right now. There are tons of minions just walking in there, getting ready to deal damage to core, and yep, there they are. They're there. They're ready to fight.
I feel like there was just too much hesitation from Formation Gaming in there. If they were going to come back to clear the lanes, that's a smart move. It's not a bad call by any stretch of the imagination, but make it quicker so you're not just caught dancing and posturing outside of the keep, because that's just more time for these lanes to get pushed up. Yeah,
and they're still trying to take this boss. I don't like this plan. Their core's dead. It's dead. It's too late. That's game. Oh, minion wave spawns last second, but I don't see them coming back from this. RFS can just take this boss now.
I mean, they could just leave the boss and go right-click the core at this point.
I mean, yeah,
the shield
but
is low. But
the way this works is if they push boss, their minion waves push in and get core. If they don't push boss, there's a chance that they die and their minion waves get cleaned up at the same time. So, oh my goodness, it's so close. Boss is picked up for formation. They only have 24% of their core left, and a beautiful mosh pit goes down.
Nice.
Catching 3. Those 3 are dead. That's game.
That's a hat trick for that mosh pit.
Yeah, it is. And Belarius not looking good either. Ouch.
Yeah, Illidan does latch on, knocks him off the mount, and that's a complete ace to secure the victory. Yeah, that was an excellent team fight there by RFS. Formation, I mean, I understood they had, you're in a bad position. If you leave to go clean up, the core dies to boss because RFS is going to pick up boss. They needed a bunch of kills, and then as soon as they got those 3 kills, they needed to back off. Just get out, go clean up, get something else going, get started doing other things, get a couple of merc camps, whatever you need to do. Heck, get boss at that point. But they waited too long. They waited till 4 of RFS was up, and that is kind of a big problem. Yeah, like I was mentioning before, they had a number of viable directions to take that position that they put themselves in. They could have either pushed bottom or they could have gone back to clear the lanes. Um, but they just waited too long to do that. They
Yep.
just waited too long to do that, and every second that they stood there was another second that RFS Gaming was able to, be a five-man team again. So it just was a huge opportunity, and a fault in strategy is the reason why that game went that way.
Yes. Yep. And some games go your way, some don't. So we'll be following RFS on to the finals, which the finals are best of 3.
Hmm.
So be prepared for 3 games out of there. We might see some cheeky builds. I'd love to see some cheeky builds. I think it's hilarious when teams in best of 3s, their first team comp is something crazy or wonky. Like all
Yeah.
specialists, man, that is a funny game of all specialists. So they'll send me a team draft link rather here in just a second. Meanwhile, if you guys want to help out in the scene, you can help out by funding our prize pool, and you can do it for free. You can put an exclamation point Matcherino into our Twitch chat, and it'll give you a link to our Matcherino website. You hit donate, put in NexVerse, and then the number 2, not TWO, but the number itself, and that will help you donate a free dollar to this season's prize pool. And that all goes straight to our players. RCS doesn't see any of that. Matcherino doesn't see any of that. They're looking for view counts. We're looking to help the amateur team, or amateur scene rather, and everybody wins, especially the people that win Season 4. So go help out. Go get involved in that. We'd love to see more people sign up, donate there, because that's great. You guys helping the scene helps everybody. It helps these teams have more time to practice, helps give them any cool skins or whatever they want to do, they want to get. It's good for the scene, and it gets the money flowing, it gets people involved, and that is good, because Heroes right now, we're young as a organization, or as a game, really. League of Legends and Dota 2 have had long time to get to where they are now, and lots of people interested in funding that. Heroes is still super young, so we need people to get out there, throw some money around, even if it's not your money, and help out. And, I mean, that's the best part. You donate $1 for free. It costs you nothing but 30 seconds of your time. So, and just please help out if you can. If you want to put more in there, that is fantastic. You can go ahead and do that. We've had quite a few people actually put in more money, like out of their own pockets, and we love you for that. That is fantastic. So go get involved that way. And yeah, we really appreciate it. If you want to get involved in the game itself, in tournaments, in anything we're doing, casting, admitting on the back end, you can email me about casting or admitting, captaincardone@gmail.com. I'll read through it. We'll try you out. We'll get you involved, whatever it is that you're looking to do. And if you want to get involved in playing, go sign up. We're on Battlefy. You can put in battlefy.com/randomcs, and it'll take you to our page with all of our tournaments. You can look for NexVerse, NexARAMas. You can put an exclamation point NexVerse into the Twitch chat, and it'll give you next week's sign up. NexARAMas is our ARAM tournament. We play on Lost Caverns. Everyone gets a random hero, and we just go for it. And it's, oh man, it is so much fun. It's a blast because nobody knows what to expect. It's just silly, silly fun. And I think that's everything I need to tell you guys about. I'm sure somebody will tell me more, but I haven't gotten that far, so
I would just echo that the Heroes of the Storm community is still growing. It's on the verge. The Blizzard's committing more and more money to these prize pools. We have more global championships than we had last year, and I don't see this train stopping. So any support that you give to the amateur community is only going to set the foundation for a much bigger scene down the road, which is what I think we all want.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. I think everybody wants that. I've actually talked to some of the pro casters. I talked to Gillyweed the other day, and they're all looking for that too. They all want to see more people show up in the qualifiers. They want to see more people at BlizzCon. They want to see different teams show up. And if you have a team of friends and you're like, you know what, we're really good at this team league stuff, or I have a bunch of friends that are really good individuals. Let's see if we can put them together. Get them all together. Get them in our tournament. Get them in Sweet Synergies tournament. Get them in Chair League. Get them in Heroes Hype. Get them in Divergent Gaming. Get them in NexARAMas. I mean, that's just for fun, but hell, do it. It's a good time. So get them all together. NexARAMas, honestly, it really helps with communications. If your team has issues with communicating what they're doing, get them in NexARAMas. They will have to communicate. It is vital. And you're probably thinking, well, why do they have to communicate? It's one lane. There's not a lot going on. There's a lot going on. It is a non-stop battle. Never are you doing nothing. Even when you're dead, you are looking at... Seriously, even when you're dead, you have that, between like 5 and 60 seconds where you're dead. You are watching the one lane and yelling at your teammates, at least that's what I do, about what they should be doing.
As you should.
as people do, right? So, if any of my teammates are watching this, I'm sorry, guys. I get excited. But yes, go get involved. It is a lot of fun, and we'd love to see more teams show up. We've seen a couple of new teams tonight. In fact, all about the D. You guys didn't win, but you know what? You played up against RFS first round. They've been playing really well tonight, so I don't blame you for that. That's a new team I've never heard of. Last Minute, that sounds like a new team. I'm just saying, it sounds like a new team. Shadow of Crow, you guys, I'd never heard of you before. That's awesome, and you're in the third place match. That's fantastic. So go get out there, get involved. We'd love to see you in all of the tournaments. So please get involved.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Sorry, I'm long-winded sometimes.
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool. Next up, we're going to have a match for you in just a second, or a draft, rather, for you in just a second, as soon as they get it to us. And there it is.
And this is the finals?
Yes, should be.
Best of 3.
So let me get that to you. And yes, these are best of 3.
Hopefully someone makes your dreams come true and you get a 5 specialist team.
Oh, man. I'm you know what? No, I'm messaging Hammy right now. Hold on.
I wouldn't hold my breath, but you never know.
I wonder if Percival's calling the shots this game. 5 spec. Hold on. Dang it. 5 spec, please. Okay. They know. I've told them.
They've been directed.
They've been informed that they have to go 5 specialists. It's never going to happen. I know that. But you know what? A man can dream.
I'm sure you elicited a rich chortle from him.
Probably. I'm telling the manager too.
I'm telling your manager, man.
Telling your manager. I'll get your other manager involved too. I'm not scared.
I will go up the chain.
Unfortunately, they don't often listen. I mean, they do. The guys are great. Don't get me wrong. But if their managers say something stupid, they will ignore them. As they should. They're not wrong. So, yeah, that's fantastic. Come on, guys. We're ready to go when you are. It's going to be probably a minute. I imagine RFS needs a second. They've pretty much played 3 games straight so far. Noob Film is probably ready. In fact, I think they set up the draft. So Noob Film is probably ready. RFS probably needs a second to get a drink, go to the bathroom, all those crazy things. So Last Minute was a free agent team. Okay. Well, you guys should stick together and come back next week.
Cool.
We see that often, actually. Free agent teams sticking together, coming back next week. That's how my ARAM team got together. We were all free agents the first game, the first week we did it, and we had fun playing together. So we said, hey, let's do it again. Why not?
Yeah, it's a great way to meet people in the community.
Oh, it is. It definitely is. That is for sure. If you need, if you're, I don't have any friends that play, whatever, join a tournament as a free agent and you will meet people. You may not meet the best people right off the bat, but give it a couple of tries. Hey, some people are salty. Some people are salty. But, you know, it is what it is. You can just enjoy playing the game, and then next week try again. And you meet people, you sign up together, you get to play together. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been meeting all kinds of people since I started casting. It's been really cool. Like, you just bump into people like, oh yeah, I know you. Like, hey, how's it going? Like, but more shit. Like, he's seen me cast in Chair League, so it's like, oh, small world. Like, ran into you.
Yeah,
like, it's fun.
And that's the thing. Right now, it is a small world, and that's kind of a problem. I want to see more people that I don't know who you are. You know, that for me is fun because I get to meet new people and I get to talk about new people, especially up and coming teams where, you know, you don't know what they're about. I mean, RFS was one of those for me. I know the guys, you know, I talk to them every now and then now, but when they first started, I was like, who is this RFS people? Who are these guys? I don't know. They seem pretty good, but whatever. And you meet people. I mean, heck, I was introduced to Gillyweed 2 or 3 days ago, which is cool just because I'm involved in the community. So it spirals pretty quick.
I'd like to give a shout out to Droplets. He was kind enough to send me an observer link, just making sure I was taken care of. Thanks, Droplets. I already had it.
Yes.
But I appreciate the gesture.
Once again, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. So, and anytime that our teams, either team captains or managers or just players, anytime you guys are on the ball sending us stuff, making sure we're with you, whatever, we love it. It is phenomenal when that happens just because it's sometimes hard for us to keep up with everything that's going on. We're casting games, we're talking to Twitch chat, we're, you know, hanging out, we're rambling sometimes. It happens. It can be hard to keep up, and you guys always make it easy on us. We love that. Managers especially, who are just here to make sure it's easy on us, thank you. And admins behind the scenes, you guys deserve a shout out too. Royalite and Sweebeeps, Timbo, who else is behind the scenes? Abyssal and Bleedies. I don't even know if you're here tonight, Bleedies. I thought I saw you earlier, but thanks, guys. You do great. You guys keep this going, and that's fantastic because I couldn't do it. I have a hard enough time managing just the casters. All the battle fight stuff and people getting upset about things in the back. I'd just be like, nah, you're done. Like I disqualify everyone. You're done. I win the tournament. We're moving on. Couldn't do it.
Well, speaking of the tournament, both teams are ready, and we're going through some of the map bans here. So I'm really excited to see how this best of 3 shapes up. You've seen both of these teams, right?
I have. I've played with Noob Phelan before, at least a bunch of their members. Like I said, I played with A Rubies on a ARAM team the other day. But I think either last week or the week before. We had fun. It was a good time. But yeah, both these teams, very interesting, strong teams. They both have great shot callers, although RFS has been changing that up. So we'll see. Maybe one of their teammates is not a great shot caller. I would be interested to see which person that is. But
well, at the finals, they might want to go a more traditional route. We'll have to see how that plays out. Or I guess you can ask Andream to see who's going to be.
I'm doing it right now.
The calls. I figured.
I am typing as you speak.
While you're doing that, I can handle some of the draft commentary.
Sure.
So Thrall got banned out as well as Kael'thas. The word's out about Kael'thas. He's a beast. He's an absolute beast. So New Phelan not having first pick, first ban priority, they didn't want to deal with that. So RFS goes ahead and they take Zul. And the map is Dragonshire, by the way. So there's going to be a strong emphasis on commanding the lanes. So Zul's a very smart pickup there. One of the best, lane heroes in the game. Noob Phelan is hovering Zagara here. So that would be a very smart pickup as well. But they switched over to Falstad. So they take Falstad. Like we were talking about earlier, a number of viable builds. He has the fly ability, obviously, which makes him very strong in this map in particular because he can theoretically capture a shrine and then fly to the mid and capture.
Yep, that is exactly true.
So that's not something that most heroes can do, and it looks like they are going to take Zagara as well.
Yeah, probably a smart plan. She's very capable in the top lane of holding her own. We saw that earlier, actually, on this very same map. One thing I will point out about Falstad is there are now quite a few heroes who have that global presence that Falstad has. Abathur could always do it, of course. Dahaka now can do it as well, and he's not as squishy as Abathur, so that helps. Brightwing can do it if they have somebody close nearby in lane, something like that. There's quite a few heroes that have that global presence, surprisingly. Illidan can do it if an enemy is on the point.
Elbow drop off the top rope with the hunt.
Yeah, I'm just saying, the hunt it works. It absolutely works.
I think with his recent changes and added sustainability, there is an argument for the hunt, especially on maps like this. But in a competitive scene, you still more or less see metamorphosis all the time.
That's true. I think it's still a stronger heroic there. Guys, if you're going back and forth between Li Ming and Greymane, just pick them both up. You have 2 picks.
Yeah, they're going pretty deep into their time pool here while they're trying to figure this out. But they do take Li Ming. Li Ming and Greymane would be a very powerful combination to pick. When you already have Zul on your team, you have a scary composition already going into the second ban phase.
Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. Zul is a beast. You know, the lockdown, the root, his ability to deal extra damage with that scythe, it's very strong. So I think what was actually going on is they were trying to determine whether they wanted Greymane or Li Ming because they knew they weren't going to have room in the rest of the composition for it.
Gotcha.
Now that they picked up Sylvanas, I think that's it just kind of clicked. I think that's what they were going for. So we'll see.
The Sylvanas pickup is very interesting. When you already have Zul on your team and your composition, taking Sylvanas forces New Thalem. It's a rotation check for them. If they're not able to rotate well on this map, Sylvanas is going to eat them alive in siege damage. This is how it's going to be.
Right.
So they do have Falstad to be able to fly around and kind of counter that. But New Thalem should be pretty wary because, you know, losing a team fight's always bad. But when you lose a team fight against Sylvanas, it hurts a lot.
Yeah, it sure does, because that just gives her free reign to go destroy buildings, especially with the power of Li Ming and Zul to back her up. That is a lot of damage coming out. RFS gets a ban here, and Mirrodin has already been banned. I kind of want to see them ban a warrior and then take something untraditional as their warrior. Maybe they're ready to play Dahaka. So if they ban Joanna, Noob Phalem could be in trouble. They're stuck with ETC. No, they're going to ban out Uther. Okay, that's fine. I mean, Uther's a good pick here, too. I just wanted to see something weird happen because I always find that interesting. That's just me, though.
I'm a little surprised by the Uther ban. I mean, in the current meta, it makes a lot of sense. But I actually think Uther would have complemented RFS's composition really well. With only a root so far in your lockdown department, Uther with his on-demand stun is always a nice addition. But Noob Thalem is looking to play out of the box, way outside of, you know, the norm and convention by taking Dahaka and Zeratul. So you have a stealth hero running around, 2 global heroes going around. This is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, so I really like this, actually, because Zagara can hold her own in a lane. That's no problem. Dahaka and Falstad, we were talking about this earlier, both of them have global presence. If they're in top and bottom, they can take it and then both go mid and one of them defend while the other one picks up Dragon Knight. So that is an excellent use of that global presence there. They need their healer. It'll probably be Rhaegar. RFS picking up Kharazim. Ethics loves Kharazim. I think it's his favorite healer. The rest of the team prefers Uther and Rhaegar, I think. But Kharazim, he's a really fun healer. I think he's the most fun I've ever had playing a support character, with maybe the exception of the old race car build on Tassadar. Dude, race car build was so much fun.
I agree.
You could just bait out everything and you never died.
You effectively became like a mitigation tank. Like you just absorbed cooldowns and then you went into dimensional shift and then the other team was in a really tough spot.
Yep, that's true, because they've already burned everything they need, or everything they have, rather, and they're just waiting on cooldowns, or maybe they're out of mana by then, and it just doesn't give them what they're looking for. And it looks like the last pick for New Phalem is a Rhaegar, like we expected.
I really like this draft. It says to me that we're about to see two teams that are very competent, and you're going to see a lot of high-level play. I think New Phalem has made a sensational response to RFS's siege potential. How confident can you feel as Sylvanas Azul pushing up a lane when you have Zeratul and Dahaka to worry about, and Falstad flying in to worry about? That I feel like that's an excellent response to the siege potential of RFS.
Yep, I agree with you there. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm watching the playback of the draft right now. I like both. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think this game is more Noob Thalem's game to either win or lose, and I say that because they have the more unconventional composition.
Right.
With all this global potential, you can very well, rotate poorly and miss all kinds of soak by being overly aggressive. So whatever moves they try to make to take advantage of this surprise composition, it has to succeed.
Yeah, it has to succeed for them. I mean, New Phalem is kind of the underdogs here. I did get word from NexARAMas that they are going back to their normal communal shot calling. So that means it's going to be that much harder for New Phalem to win. But as the underdogs, go get them. Go get them. Go show RFS that they're not the best in the semi-pro scene. I want you to do it, mainly so that I can message them afterwards and be like, what happened? But I know both these teams. I can't choose one or the other. I want them both to win, but that can't happen. So I'm going to go ahead and say underdogs, go get them.
I mean, Noob Phalem, they may very well be the underdogs, but they're no slouch by any stretch of the imagination. They know how to play. They got here for a reason. So I don't think they need to go into this feeling intimidated at all. They have the talent and potential to take the series.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree 100%. They are a strong team. They're very good at what they do. So I expect a good match. And here we go.
I mean, with this kind of composition from them, it's undoubtedly going to be exciting.
Yes, it definitely is. And as soon as I remember how to spell RFS, you'd think that'd be easy, but it turns out you can misspell it.
So it's spelled RFS.
Is the F before the S or after? I don't know.
I think so.
Okay, all right, cool.
You might have to ask him, Verum.
I think he'd be upset if I asked him that.
A little help, like, hey, Verum, how do you spell RFS?
Could you? I have a question.
He'd be like failfish, not
Yeah.
like this. The whole range.
Yeah, no, he would probably tell me he's not casting with me again. That could be a problem.
Like, goodbye.
Yeah, I'd have to find someone for next week, but that's all right. We'd manage. Anyway, we're gonna introduce some of these teams here. I guess both of these teams here, rather. On the left side, we have Droplets playing Zagara, Tone Phone on Rhaegar, Nesper on Zeratul, A Rubies playing that Falstad, and Astabroth on that new Dahaka.
Over on the right side, in this best of 3 finals, you're going to have RFS. Ethix is on Karazim, Percival's on ETC, Sleepy Bears playing Li Ming, Hammy is playing Sylvanas, and Lord Satan is on Zul.
Yep. So remember, everybody, you can get involved in these every week except the finals. You can get involved in ARAM. If you want to get involved in other tournaments, let me know. I'll get you the links for those as well. I'm involved in most of them. And let us know who you want to win in the chat here. Who you think is going to do well, who you think is going to get the most kills, all that crazy stuff as we get this fight started.
If you saw, Astabroth was setting up in a pretty interesting spot. He used his Brush Stalker to show up on the right side of the map in the top lane. But it just turned out that RFS was not positioned to be yanked. But that's something that they're going to have to look out for the duration of this game.
Yep, that's true. RFS set up in the Triforce Bush, as people have been calling it. Always found that interesting. Percival taking a lot of damage, though. He is going to go down. Oh, he's not. Oh, Nesper able to get in there. deal the final blow. Astrobroth almost going down too. They were trying to snipe off this well. They have it below half health, but they didn't quite get it down, and they lost a hero trying to do it. Percival died pretty quickly there in that Triforce bush.
Yeah, they dared to dream to try to take this well away, which is the middle lane isn't the most prioritized lane, I would say, in the early phases. Mostly you want to try to take control of one of the shrines. But that was funny. Like, Percival was probably like, man, guys, that was close. I got really low. And then Nesper just jumped in out of nowhere and blew him up. He was like, oh.
Oh, never mind. I'm dead. Thanks. Thanks, team. Yeah, it happens. Things happen. But the bottom lane here, we have 3 people sitting down here for RFS. They have absolute control over that shrine. Meanwhile, top, Droplets on that Zagara has taken the top shrine up against Needham on that Sylvanas. Needham, you don't typically win that fight with a Sylvanas, mainly because you can't put out enough damage to counteract what a Zagara can pump out with all her abilities. They do manage to get this well down, though, and they're trying to do some poke here in the middle. A Ruby's going in, not able to get anything done. Ethics needs to watch out. Nesper's right there. Ethics, you are in such a bad spot. I don't understand.
Living on the edge.
Hey, you know what? If it makes you feel dangerous, you have fun, buddy. A Ruby's in trouble, though. Taking tons of damage from Sleepy Bear. Not able to get anything down. Wow, that was a excellent jump from Nesper, but Ethics jumping right behind him into that fight.
Exercising some of that prowess that he has. And Ethics is he's trying to spot out Nesper, and he walks into him, but he doesn't have any means to really pop him out of there. But Lord Satan and Percival come down here. There's a power slide and Brute. And a deletion.
Yeah,
of Xerath.
Definitely dead there. Tone Phone could be in trouble here if Sleepy Bear can turn around and start putting damage on. But just going to walk out. That's probably smart. Ethics going to stay down here long enough to make sure they don't lose this bottom shrine. Because if they do, they could be in trouble here in the mid with only Percival. And Sleepy Bear is fountaining up, coming back. But Sleepy Bear needs to rotate. He needs to rotate top. Help with this Zagara kill. Zagara, though, has creep everywhere. She is going to see this coming. Droplets, you need to bail. I think you're still in trouble.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Droplets makes it out of here alive.
No, Percival's going to come
around the corner. Yeah. Yeah. Ouch.
That is a dead Droplets.
Tough break for Droplets here. Fun fact. Zeratul went with Gathering Power at level 4.
I don't like that. Hopefully they can take this Dragon Knight before anything awful happens. No, they're not able to. Ethics just needs to bail. Fountain up, and he'll be ready for the fight again. 3 people, 3 against 2 there in the bottom, not really able to do anything. Astrobroth in a load of trouble, getting stunned, but he's got all of his essence built up. He just, go ahead, hit me with your orb. That's fine. I'll just heal. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it was good of RFS to at least bait that out of him. It's going to take him a little bit to get a full stack of 50 essence back. Especially considering that at level 4 he took Hero Stalker for the added essence on takedowns as opposed to one who collects. Both shrines at the moment were over on RFS's side, but Droplets is gonna show some resilience and come back up to the top lane to claim the top shrine.
Yep, and invade here, and Sleepy Bear almost getting caught by the drag of Astrobroth, able to dodge it. Excellent dodge there, Sleepy.
Very heads up play there. They did manage to take the siege camp, but off. Oh, Sylvanas goes down.
I did not see that happen, but with the Zagara up there, that's rough. It can be really rough. RFS not in a great position here. They have enemies coming in from all directions. They could be in trouble. Ethics, punch something. Look, man, when that's how you heal, you gotta just start swinging.
Yeah, Noob Phelan doesn't have the most lockdown in the world, so he can't afford to go out there. But as we were talking about, that Tone Phone is super low and goes down. Lord Satan might be counter-engaged upon, but he's going to be okay. And Noob Phelan is just going to cut their losses and retreat.
Yeah, they need to. It's 4v3 there now. It's not really worth trying to fight. Although the longer this goes on, the worse Needham does up top here. Just not able to get anything done versus that Zagara. Zagara is just bullying him out of lane. First of all, gonna turn this around, was getting beat up pretty hard. Said, you know what, let's just let him go, let him go, let him go. Stun him, let's go. Not able to get anything done, though.
Yeah, Droplets is going to want to make sure he keeps an eye on that mini-map. They got him last time by rotating up. In spite of having all of this creep here,
Yeah, he has spread out the creep significantly more now. It is all over. He even has the bush in mid creeped up to make sure he sees them coming from a mile away.
He was like, never again.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? All it takes is once to remind you that I'm not invulnerable, turns out. Huh.
I can die.
Yeah.
We do have a nice fight here going down in the bottom lane. Percival and Lord Satan are half health, and I think that might be the end of the skirmish for the moment. But both teams hit their heroics. Percival uses his face melt to push them away to try to take back the bottom shrine. But Falstad flies up, but is not there in time to cap the Dragon Knight.
Yep, and Needham, smart move, rotating down, trying to make sure that nobody could cap that. Just going to put some damage on just to make sure they don't get a Dragon Knight. Now, usually by now we have a Dragon Knight. Abyssal is asking me what the number for 911 is. Thanks, Abyssal.
Kappa.
I love you, man. You're the best. That's what. Those are what the words we're gonna use for that.
Oh no!
We missed another Sylvanas death.
Hammy gets caught out by Falstad and Zeratul in the middle lane, and I was just about to point out, Sylvanas is already losing the top lane, right?
Yeah, it's gone now.
As bad as it was, he left. He just left the top lane, so this whole time Droplets has been going full ham. The fort is halfway. New Phalem has both shrines, and they get the first Dragon Knight.
Yeah, so this not looking good for RFS. Not looking good at all. New Phalem is coming out swinging, and I love it. Good work, guys. Lord Satan, speaking of swinging, gets punted.
Yeah, New Phalem not scared at all to go up against RFS Gaming here.
No, A-Rubies is going a little ham on this, though. He's going to lose the Dragon Knight really fast. I'm not a fan of that. His team wasn't here, wasn't prepared to help out. He barely got that front wall down.
I want to say they were just very eager over the opportunity that getting that first Dragon Knight afforded them. They could have stood to taking a lot out of that because they had Zagar pushing the top lane. The fort's almost gone. But you're right. He was out there getting chunked down, and they didn't get much value at all out of that.
Yeah, I would have preferred to see him rotate bottom with that, just because that's where the rest of his team was. They were all down there, just kind of pushing back a lane and team fighting for a few seconds, and he barely got anything done here. It does give them an advantage. They are up one level, almost a full level now. I don't know. I don't think that was the best call. He could have backed off. There's a lot of time on those Dragon Knights, so would have preferred to see him back off a bit.
Well, the thing is that they do still have an advantage. They're on the verge of level 13, and at least they didn't wipe. Like, at least they didn't, you know, overstay their welcome and start losing heroes. So they did have that heads-up decision. They have their level 13 talents now, and that's gonna RFS has to be where it is.
Yeah, but RFS is now taking this top. They are putting the pressure on Droplets. They're saying, you know what, you wanted ours, we're gonna take yours. There's not going to be a safe place for you here. Meanwhile, counter push at bottom. There's Siege Giants up here. This could be a problem, and everyone is rotating top. They need to get this kill on Droplets right now, or else they're going to find themselves in a 5v4. And Maul goes down, gets an excellent hit. ETC is silenced. This is going to be a major problem. He needs a good mosh pit to turn this around. Sleepy Bear, oh man, they're both going down. Sleepy Bear gets the palm on himself, but is going to go down anyway. That is a palm down for nothing. They lost 2, but they're able to clean up bottom. They are ahead in buildings, but not in kills. That was an ugly fight.
I love the idea behind it, though. It was very aggressive of RFS to take the top fort. They were down a talent, and they stayed on the offensive. I don't think the New Phalem was really expecting that. But both teams just heavily committed to that fight. Heroics came out, like, it was all in. One team was either going to get wiped or not, and I'm surprised that they all, like, you know, there was only as few takedowns as there ended up being because both teams were full ham there.
Yeah, Nesper, excellent use of Wormhole. Man, that was good. He went in, he demolished Needham, just putting the damage on, making him feel bad, and quite a bit of damage coming out, about half his health. Astrobroth not going to live through that one.
Now the Burrow, in essence, was not nearly enough to poison Nova, not only making sure Dahaka went down, but that put a good amount of damage on Falstad and Rhaegar as well, so Tonophone's going to have to account for that. And even though they have both shrines for the moment, 3 members of RFS Gaming were making sure that they were not getting another Dragon Knight.
Yep, just there guaranteeing no Dragon Knight is taken, because this Dragon Knight 11 minutes in is going to be pretty strong. They can face tank those towers this time and get quite a bit done. Sleepy Bear in trouble, though. That was scary.
Sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Barely escapes there. But actually, look, RFS Gaming is going to get the Dragon Knight.
Oh, they got it. A-Ruby's tried.
The Mighty Gust half a second late, and that's going to be Dragon Knight for RFS Gaming. I'm wondering how they're going to prioritize this. Looks like they're rotating mid, but they're kind of making the same mistake that New Phelan did. They're just hanging out front, just taking all kinds of poke. They do still have about 60% of the Dragon Knight left, so it's not as bad. But I feel like they could have rotated a little more conservatively to make sure they preserve the health of that.
Probably, but they knew they were chasing 3 people top, so they weren't really that concerned about what those guys were doing. They are playing it smart. They're backing off when they need to back off. I'm expecting a punt to come out any second from Lord Satan, probably on the Zagara, just to make sure to get her out of there. But nope, Dragon Knight goes down before they're able to do that. And Astrobroth not looking good there, buddy. I think you're dead.
Oh,
a little bit of a misplay here.
Yeah, that was some interesting follow-up. Dahaka does not get away from that. They do have their level 16 talents. Percival and the gang are pushing this middle fort, so that goes down, and that gives them their level 16 talents too. And they have a 5v4 advantage, so it looks like they're going to rotate down and just take the siege camp from them.
Yeah, it's a good plan to just rotate and take the siege camp. I do want to say that Nesper on that Zeratul is doing an amazing job of just being disruptive, getting into RFS's backline, destroying certain members of their team, and making sure that he's putting the damage on. He's just trying to get the damage. He does also go top by himself and take down that fort. That was fantastic, buddy.
Further showing his value on that hero. You're absolutely right. RFS Gaming, it's just hard to posture strongly in these team fights when you have to worry about Nesper jumping out of nowhere and putting damage on your backline.
That's true. And Needham and not Lord Satan, Needham and Sleepy Bear have been eating that damage the entire game, just taking hit after hit by that Zeratul, and there hasn't been a response to it really. They're trying, but Zeratul, he's so slippery. Nesper is doing a great job, like I just said, of getting in, dealing damage, and getting out.
Yeah, going back to his talent choice at level 4 for Gathering Power, this has been a pretty low takedown game. So I don't know if he got the value he was really hoping to receive out of taking Gathering Power there.
Probably not. Ethic's in a bit of trouble. He's going to have a minion wave to jump to, though, so he should be all right.
Yeah, Nesper and Tone Phone are rotating down to the bottom lane to meet Rubies and Droplets. And the next Shrine phase is up. Lord Satan and Percival move forward here to claim the bottom shrine, and I'm wondering if they're looking for a serious team fight here. They're in position to do it.
Yes, they are, because they know the other team is down a man. I don't know if it doesn't look like they're able to jump back. And another kind of misplay here. VP goes down at the same time as Gust, and Maw only bites one. Not great. Not a lot of follow-up on that Maw either. Needham walks out, takes a Baneling, and then gets healed up immediately.
I think in that fight, the Gathering Power pick came into play there. That was very conservative play from Noob Phelan. The Gust and the Void Prison and the Ancestral Healing going out. If I was RFS Gaming, I would take that as a victory. Those are some very long cooldowns that they baited out, and they weren't even applying that much pressure for it.
No, they weren't, and that's what I meant. They keep popping off these ultimates, not communicating, it seems like, for when they're doing it, because Gus keeps going out on top of VP. VP is going out on top of Maw. It's just it seems a little off. I don't think anyone's calling out when they're gonna pop their heroics, and we have a bit of a gank push here. First of all, if he spots Nesper's in trouble.
Yeah, and he does.
Yep.
There's the initial stun. There's some follow-up with the teleport. Does allow him to escape the orb. And a nice cleanse from Tone Phone. Make sure he's not rooted down. Astroball here is out in front, taking a good amount of damage. Burns his essence to keep himself alive. Tone Phone has a good amount of mana in case RFS Gaming wants to continue to press this. But it looks like, for the most part, Noob Phelan is just looking to get back to their fort.
Yep, Astrobroth could be going down here. He doesn't have any essence left. He gets silence as soon as he comes out. Nesper might be in trouble if they spot him. Nope, they don't.
Goes down, and he was so close to that well. I'm sure he was just reaching his hand out there like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Poison Nova.
Yep,
Poison
and this is
Nova.
going to be the first keep of the game going down. RFS has no reason not to just kill it, except this is a Dragon Knight for the other team.
And that's very heads-up play from A Rubies here. They lost
Yes.
the team fight. They're going to lose the keep. Get what you can out of it. Even if they get, even if the knight gets chunked down, the last thing you want to do is give the, give RFS the knight in a situation. So even if this just ends up being more of a denial thing and they get no value out of it, I really like that play from a Rubies.
Yes, I agree. It's a good play, but again, he's burning through it. He does have a lot more health this time, but the whole enemy team is here. I don't see him getting out after this is done.
Right. Going back to my whole denial point, I feel like he should have used the even the last quarter of the health for that Dragon Knight to secure his escape, because he might be done here. A superb cleanse.
Yes.
Keeps him out of the mosh pit, and then the Mighty Gust is going to secure the disengage.
Yeah, the cleanse was on point. Percival needed to catch both of them in that mosh pit. That is a long cooldown to not have over a attempted one-person kill.
Now, RFS Gaming does hit their level 20 talents, and one thing that I think is really interesting is that Karazim went with Peace 4 Pros, the talent that shortens the cooldown if it doesn't proc. One thing that does on like a meta level, if you cast like the Divine Palm early, that's going to inspire the team to not focus that target. But now that you have the shortened cooldown, you can do that to them more often.
Yes, Ethics actually really likes that talent. I saw him a couple of weeks ago using it, and he was just spamming it on everybody. Every couple of seconds it was going out. You'd see the palms going around people. It was hilarious because the other team didn't know what to do. They weren't sure who to attack, who not to attack. Honestly, in that situation, you just need to hit somebody and let them die and burn the palm. Preferably somebody with a low health pool so you can get them down anyway, just because it's really rough when they can just keep spamming it. Oh, Nesper, burning the Void Prism to get out. That is a long cooldown just for an escape, but it makes sense because his death timer would also be very long.
Yeah, with these shrines coming up here in 20 seconds, if he got taken out, that would be a huge amount of pressure that RFS wouldn't have had to worry about. And they already have win condition. The bottom keep is gone, so Catapult's going to be pushing this lane for the rest of the game, and RFS captures the Bruiser camp. So this is going to force a response from Noob Phelan.
Yes.
A-Rubies is in the top lane, getting the top shrine, but they're going to have to respond.
Yeah, and A-Rubies was also up there pushing out this this minion wave a little bit, just making sure it hit walls, did some damage. They're probably going to get that keep down, but not a whole lot more.
Yeah. For now, both teams have one shrine apiece, and RFS is rotating up mid. They just want to make sure this lane is pushed. They do have one of the towers from middle fort left, but they're setting up a win. They want to make sure these lanes are pushed, so when they do take the advantage somewhere, they're in the best position possible to make the most out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like this too much. Yeah, they need to go mid. They need to get up here, send one person bottom, send one person top. Maybe not even that. Nesper in a bit of trouble here. Needham, never mind. Needham's going to go down.
Ethics was not close enough to land a Divine Palm, so they go down.
Oh,
and that's
no.
This could be terrible for RFS.
Okay, so that Gust just saved Percival.
Yeah, it really did. Not the best use of the heroics here, and the Ancestral doesn't land either, so Zagara goes down, and we're looking at
This turnaround is incredible. Tone Foam about to be in trouble. 3-man mosh pit. No cleanse because he is running for his life. They might catch him too. He's trying to back. Will they figure it out?
Wow.
Tone Phone, the only one able to get out. They're going to go for core. They are absolutely going for core there.
Without a doubt, Percival just won this game for them.
I think that Gust actually won the game for them. I hate to say it, A-Rubies, but I think that Gust hurt you more than it helped because it put him out of those stun durations and let him bolt through a wall. That is brutal.
Yeah, in these late game team fights, one small mistake can have such a profound impact.
It sure
Pushing
can.
them away with that Gust set up the first kill on Zagara. That gave Li Ming her cooldown reset, and it was pretty much game over from there because the cooldown reset forced Rhaegar to take the long way around. Percival identified that and landed a perfect 3-person mosh pit to set up the team fight win.
Yeah, it was an excellent mosh pit on Percival's side, not taking anything away from him. of course, because that was a really well done mosh pit. It guaranteed 3 kills. But man, that hurts. Ruby's, I mean, you did great, man. You have the most siege and hero damage out of your team, and most siege out of everyone. I mean, that's fantastic play, but I just feel like their heroics maybe weren't together. They weren't able to really communicate when heroics were going out, what to do, because they could have been amazing. I mean, if you can VP and then in like VP 2 people, preferably squishies, and then push everyone else out and kill those 2 squishies before the team catches up, you have it. You have that team fight. You win. But it never really worked that way. It always felt just a little bit off. It looked like they were trying, but just not able to do it perfectly. Hopefully this next game, because this is a best 2 out of 3, hopefully you guys can turn that around and get that going for you with whatever team comp you use next. I gotta say, I did like the Dahaka play though. It was fun to see him.
Astabroth did a really good job on Dahaka. Going back to what I was talking about in the draft, I felt like this game was Noob Phalem's to either win or lose based on how much chemistry and timing they were able to put together with their heroics. If they had timed those Mighty Gusts properly, if they had timed the Devouring Maw and Void Prisons to set up the right kind of isolation, they could have won those team fights pretty handily. But it just never came together for them.
Yep, that's exactly right. It just felt off. I don't know what it was. Nothing ever worked perfectly. It was always a little sketch. You know what I mean? Always a little sketchy. Yeah. It felt like a door-to-door salesman who has a really good pitch but not a good product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. That was the best I could come up with.
but one thing to keep in mind there, RFS, they have to feel like, they won that game, but Noob Phalem was right there with them right up until the end. And if Noob Phalem did manage to come together on those team fights, they would have had a really rough time recovering from that. So I hope they're not, resting on their laurels by any stretch of the imagination, because Noob Phalem, in spite of the lack of chemistry sometimes, they still had the overall talent and potential to take those team fights.
Yes, and that's the thing. I'm glad you pointed that out, because Noob Phalem, they did really well. It was just little tiny timing issues. That's it. If they can get that timing down, they will win the next game. Assuming RFS plays the same way, they will win. It's not a matter. It's not a question at that point. They need to fix those little things. And you're right. They were in the game the entire time. That last fight, in fact, I thought was going to go the other way at first. And they almost had it. They had killed one, or they had almost killed Percival. He was stuck. He was rooted. He was stunned. He was in trouble. And then all of a sudden, a gust came out and saved him because he was able to bolt. If he hadn't been able to bolt over that wall, that team fight would have gone the other way, and I think RFS would have lost because Noob Phalem had a Dragon Knight. They were ready to go. All they had to do was pick up the Dragon Knight and push through a keep, and they had the game.
I completely agree there. I'd be curious to know what RFS is saying to themselves right now, because if I was in that position, I would say, like, we won the first game. It was great. But I think objectively, it's more that Noob Phalem lost the game by not having the chemistry to effectively use those heroics. And that's not the position you want to be in. You want to feel like you've taken a game. You want to feel like you've had a commanding presence at every stage of a match. And I don't think RFS really had that.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that, I think. I can definitely agree with that.
I would inspire my team to, like, look, we need to turn it up. We won the game, but we need to make this a 2-0. We need to step up. We need to make sure we're on point, because these guys can play.
Yeah, that's true. And, I mean, people in chat are saying they thought for sure that RFS was going to throw at the end there. They got an excellent turn, but, yeah, it was scary for them for a second. It was scary. Percival going down would have guaranteed lost them at least that Dragon Knight and definitely a keep. Maybe even the core. The Dragon Knight does tons of damage that late in the game. So it's just, somebody mentioned that their sequencing was off, and that's all it was. That's
Yeah.
all it was. Just slightly different, slightly off kilter heroics being thrown out. If they can get that, if New Phelan can get that on point, they are good to go. And I have a draft link for you, sir.
Actually, Droplets gave it to me, and I whispered it to you.
Oh, all right, fine. I can be okay with that. Anyway, if you guys want to get involved, please do. You can sign up for next week's tournament by putting !NexVerse in the chat. It'll give you the link to next week's sign up. If you want to play ARAM, you can play ARAM with us on Thursday. We start at 8 Central for ARAM, 7 Central for NexVerse. That's this tournament. So on Thursday, ARAM, NexARAMas, everyone gets a random hero. We play on Lost Caverns, and you go until somebody wins, till a core is dead. It's a lot of fun. It can be frustrating if you get a hero that you're not used to. And free heroes do count. The free hero rotation, you have to watch out for them. So, because they'll get you. They will get you. It is brutal. But it is a lot of fun. So please go enjoy that. You can sign up for that by putting in !NexARAMas in the Twitch chat. It'll give you the sign up link for that one as well. Last thing, for exclamation points, you can put in !Matcherino. That will give you our Matcherino website. You can donate $1 to us for free by typing in NexVerse2. That is the number 2, not spelled out, just the number. And it gives us a free $1 that goes straight towards the prize pool for this season. And it goes straight towards the players, whoever wins Season 4. That being said, let's jump into a draft, shall we?
Yeah, these teams are wasting no time. So game 2 is going to be on Infernal Shrines. RFS is already banned out Illidan. New Phelan is hovering Kael'thas. And I think they need to just lock this in, because if they don't take Kael'thas, I just can't see RFS letting them go through. So yeah, they do ban Kael'thas. And looks like Thrall's going to be the first pickup for RFS.
Yeah, they really like Thrall. And of course, Thrall's a strong hero. He has been for a long time. And he fits the meta pretty well. His Sundering got a bit of a nerf. It's not quite as long by 1/4 of a second, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it can be depending on how you're used to playing him. So it doesn't let you catch up to the enemies as well anymore, but still very, very strong.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to see a situation, or I don't think we'll ever say, I don't see how Thrall fits into this composition, because he's just too universal and all around. I really like this first pickup. New Phelan is going to take Sylvanas for their first hero, and they have another one coming up. Sylvanas, she's back. She is 100% back. Do you think you're going to see mind control in competitive play?
Not in its current form. Mainly because it's too easy to get. It's too easy to stop. Right now, we have a big stun meta that happens. You know, everyone's picking up stuns. Everyone's picking up some kind of displacement. So, you know, stuff like that. That all knocks her out of that. So it ends up being weird. When the training hero can stop your heroic, that's usually
that's not good.
Usually
that's
not good. But we see a lot of ETC, and Raynor can stop that too. So it depends. It's very strong. It's scary to play against too, because your hero just starts moving, and for that split second where you're going, I didn't click there,
right?
and then it hits you. Oh, I'm not in control of me anymore. Okay, how do I get out of this? So you're really relying on your team to stop it. So if you're not in a good position to stop it, it hurts.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The silence is still really strong. The silence most of the time. I think like 85% of the time, I'm going to call it, people will pick up the silence.
I can see that. I think mind control is a little misunderstood. I don't think you're supposed to use it in a 5v5, because then you're just planning Sylvanas in place to get blown up. I think it becomes really powerful on maps like Dragonshire, where like they're split focus, like it's more skirmish than team fight, or at the tail end of a fight where like the enemy team's trying to disengage. You've already killed 2 of the people, the other 3 are trying to get away. Oh, I'll just mind control the one in the back and walk them right into us and just take another kill.
Yep, that's true. But a lot of times that's not what heroics are for. Like if that's how you're using your heroic, it feels kind of like a wasted heroic. You know what I mean? Because
It's comp dependent. If you
it
have
is.
other means of hard engage where you don't necessarily need Wailing Arrow, I do think there's an argument for it.
Oh, I agree. There's definitely an argument for it. I just don't think we'll see it in competitive play. Meanwhile, this draft is still going on. RFS has picked up Greymane and Uther. They have a very strong team so far. It looks like they're going to pick up Joanna as well. They are very front-loaded here.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely front-loaded. We'll see what their final pickup here is in just a second. Meanwhile, New Phalem has picked up Sylvanas, Falstad, ETC, and Rhaegar. They're once again going for kind of that wombo combo mix. If they can get a silence off into a mosh pit, couple of kills, Falstad flies behind, pushes whoever's left back into the team. They murder those guys too. They're good to go. So it'll be interesting to see if New Phalem can keep that up the whole time. And this is the first time I've ever seen Li Ming last pick.
It just goes to show you how much this meta has shifted and continues to shift. Li Ming being the ninth pick, like the ninth hero, her hero to get selected. It's crazy stuff.
That is, yeah, that's pretty interesting. We don't see that very often. That's for sure.
The way this draft is going so far, I feel like Mighty Gust is going to be one of the most important heroics in this match. If they can time a Mighty Gust to nullify RFS's heavy engage, they can win the fight. If they use Mighty Gust to set up either a mosh pit or some kind of isolation, they can win the fight. But if they fail to do that, they're going to have a tough time.
Yeah, and they need Mighty Gust to just push a couple of people back.
Right.
They don't want to hit all of them. They want to hit 3 or 4 just to get that pick. And with Stitches on their team, getting that pick is probably going to be much easier than RFS thought they were going to have to deal with. So New Phalem picking up Stitches, I like it. Double Warrior, Stitches ETC, not probably the best Double Warrior comp, but I still like it.
I'm honestly concerned. I'm honestly concerned because in the first game, New Phalem did not demonstrate an ability to effectively use their abilities in a cohesive way. When you have a hero based on yanking someone out of position with a hero that is generally designed to push people away, they might end up tripping over their own feet on that. And I'm really concerned there. I'm also concerned that they won't have enough damage.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. They may not have enough damage. We do see on their side, they're really only wow, that was rough. They're only damage dealers. Sorry, I think I had a stroke in the middle of that sentence. Their only damage dealers are Sylvanas and Falstad. And Sylvanas, while Sylvanas does pump out quite a bit of damage, she's still not an assassin, or at least a full-blown assassin. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have Li Ming, Greymane, and Thrall pumping out damage. And Joanna's no slouch either, especially after she gets Burning Rage. If you like to pick that up, you can pull everyone into the Burning Rage, and they just take tons of damage. That's pretty good.
It's scary. I'll tell you, the combination to watch out for RFS is Greymane and Li Ming. Their synergy with proccing a second go for the throat with Li Ming's cooldown reset could be a nightmare for New Phalem.
Yeah, it sure could. We'll see just how well they get themselves put together here, and we'll see if RFS can make some changes to their playstyle, play a little more heads up. They do have a very front-loaded team right now, so we'll see how they manage that. But New Phalem, this is your game, guys. This is yours to lose, so get in here, kick some butt, and we'll see just how well it goes for you guys.
I love their confidence. I mean, after the first game, they went with a somewhat unconventional composition. And they didn't shy away from that. Stitches, is in the meta. He's very strong, but he's kind of on the fringe these days. It's definitely like a chemistry-dependent composition that they have. So they weren't rattled by the first game. They're sticking to that, cohesive outplay kind of composition and play style, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like it a lot as well. That was the wrong button. No wonder that's not working. I pressed one of my buttons, and I thought for sure it was going to go to the game. It did not. It was still us. It makes more sense. Okay, so one thing I would like to point out, thank you guys for not changing sides.
Oh, yeah, that does make our lives a lot
That
easier.
makes my life way easier. Way easier. Appreciate that, team. Good work. Let's get into the game. Infernal Shrines is the map. You kill the Guardians, you get a Punisher. John Cena comes out and wails on people.
And his name is John Cena.
I love our nicknames for these guys.
We're going to
So
see
many
if
good
Noob
ones.
Salem is able to force a game 3, or if RFS is going to be able to come away with this week's victory in a 2-0.
Yeah, hopefully they can put Mom Spaghetti. It's ready. Jesus. Thanks, Hammy. Alrighty, on the left side, we have... Jeez. On the left side, we have Noob Phelan. We have A. Ruby's playing that false stat again. Droplets on Sylvanas, Astabroth on ETC. Tone Foam once again on Rhaegar. And Nesper on Stitches.
These guys talking in all chat is cracking me up right now.
This is one of my favorite parts about the Heroes of the Storm community is these guys are awesome.
Yeah. Over on the right side, you got RFS Gaming. Percival's on Johanna. Ethics is on Uther. Lord Satan is back again on Thrall. Hammy's on Greymane. And Sleepy Bear's playing Li Ming.
Yep, so once again, everyone kind of needs to tighten up their play. Last game was a little rough. Unstoppable coming out from Johanna. A little late. Probably could have skipped that hook there from Percival, but decided to eat it instead.
I feel like Nesper's going to find that Johanna's not the most ideal hook candidate. I don't know if he was able to see them or if he just went fishing, but he's going to want to try to find a different target to hook.
I don't know. From the second hook now, it looks like they're doing it on purpose. I think the point is to pull Percival just out of position and make him panic a little bit, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, at this level of play, these teams are prepared for anything. They're not going to be so easily rattled. They're gonna be ready to respond to that. So we'll see if that comes into play later on.
I like how Inverum is kind of rooting for the other team. He's saying so much follow up for the hook. He's excited. We'll see. And I think my stream froze. Oh,
it's gonna be a big challenge for RFS. So as the manager, I would be excited to see how my team stacks up against that.
Yeah, if they pull Ethics or if they pull Thrall, somebody like that, they could be in a load of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
He's saying that was complete sarcasm. There was zero follow-up.
Rip.
Yeah.
I'm looking at talents here, and it looks like I suspected Stitch was going to slam build with this composition. That's exactly what he does. Goes for the heavy slam, Gathering Storm, Falstad, Colossal Totem for Rhaegar. So you'll probably see the big slow at level 16 for him.
Yep, we're not seeing a whole lot of Falstad's Go, the auto attack build anymore. It's still very viable. It's not quite as strong depending on the map that you're on, but it can do work. I don't like them chasing this Johanna down. This doesn't make any sense because Tone Phone is about to go down. He is just getting beat up. Lord Satan takes a hook to the face, but is able to get out of there because it's only Stitches again. Tone Phone going down. Nobody started the shrine yet either, and it is an Arcane Punisher.
That was a full extension orb. Very nicely done from Sleepy Bear to get the first blood of the game.
Yep, they need to start this this Punisher though, these Guardians, because they need to do it while the enemy team is down.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and take a lead here. They already have 10 secured. Nesper's in a tough spot, gets locked down and body blocked by Johanna for another kill.
Yep, I think that pretty much guarantees this shrine going to them. And of course, Arcane is the strongest Punisher. It is absolutely brutal to fight against. So they say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have Lord Satan go top, get some soak on. Because the other team, Noob Phelan, is out-soaking RFS right now by a large margin.
Yeah, they're already a half a level ahead. And they do have Sylvanas. Keep that in mind. So they're locking down one of these towers. Dropless and Tone Phone managed to take down one of the towers. Sleepy Bear shows up, so they decide to back away.
Probably smart. Sleepy Bear able to poke from very long distances. So we'll see how this goes. Good thought here, pulling the Punisher over. John Cena going over the wall. not going to get a whole lot of damage done, but those arcane sentries still hurt a lot, even at low levels like this.
Yeah, Nuke Phelan played this pretty much flawlessly. Like, they baited the Arcane Punisher over the wall, and they burned that thing down quick. Like, if you look at it, they pretty much got the same thing. They got one tower. Like, they got one tower from Sylvanas' push, while the Punisher only got one tower. Not bad.
Yep, that is true. So that whole thing from the shrine spawning to everything else was about 2 minutes. That is nuts.
Yeah, this is a fast-moving game. These guys aren't holding anything back.
Yeah, there were 2 kills in there. There was a whole shrine phase. There was a John Cena and a disengage. Man, this game is going to be fast.
Yeah, I'm sure their voice channels are freaking going mile a minute right now.
I love listening to teams' voice comms. It's so insightful about how they play, all sorts of things. I love it.
Yeah, if you want to get hyped, definitely listen to a team prioritize targets and things like that. It's very exciting.
Yep. So this is interesting to me because RFS is not soaking. They opted to take this Bruiser Camp instead. Percival, kind of in trouble, needs to press D.
I guess he's trying to save it for the last moment. There, it does come out, but or was that a cleanse? Oh, there's
that was a cleanse. Yeah.
But ETC eats a ton of damage. Astrobroth does go down.
They're going to be
on a pursuit. And that's another kill. Rhaegar goes down too. Droplets use the Haunting Wave to just escape. But is Nesper getting away? No. Oh.
Calamity killing Nesper. Okay, that is my favorite Li Ming talent. Easily my favorite Li Ming talent is Calamity.
Wow.
Mainly because I love to use it, and every time I kill something with it, just yell Calamity. And the people on my it's really fun. Look, I'm weird, I know, but it's hilarious.
Say it or do you yell it?
Oh no, I yell it. Like, people can hear me for sure. and I'm sure my neighbors are like, "What the hell is wrong with that guy?" Because the people on voice comms ask too. So it's just fun. I don't know. You got to make your own fun sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. The next shrine phase does come up here. RFS does get here kind of soon. We're 4 members, but Nuke Phelan is here to represent as well. But RFS already has 10.
Yeah, A-Rubies needs to fly down here. He's on his way, but he's not quite there. Sleepy Bear trying to get out, getting an unstoppable. A little too late there. That cleanse came out. It's not looking good for Nuke Phelan.
It really isn't. RFS gets their heroic talent. Stitches goes down. Rubies does show up, and it's kind of ironic. The split silk game that Rubies was playing with False Dead doesn't even secure the heroics for them first. So it's kind of worst case scenario right now for them.
Yeah, it is. So I want to point out all of these are pretty normal, except Li Ming took Wave of Force instead of Disintegrate, which I like. I really like Wave of Force. It's kind of like how Tacidar's Force Wall was when it was really good, but nobody would admit that it was really good. You remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
It's just how it was.
Wave of Force definitely has a place here. It's another counter against the Mosh Pit. So I do like that. That's very intelligent and heads up from them.
Yeah, this fight coming out, Stitch is trying to get something done with his bile, but immediately getting jumped on by John Cena there. This fort is going down. There is nothing they can do. Hook comes out, misses everybody. They need to just stop chasing. It's not even a good chase. It is a 4v5 here. The further they get away from their buildings, the more trouble they're going to be in. Lord Satan trying to chase that down. That was a wasted gust, I think.
I think...
Oh, wait, maybe not.
Nice hook. The cleanse does come out to make sure he can get away there.
Yep,
but,
okay, cool.
Heads up. Yeah, that was a nice cleanse from Uther.
For those of you that may not know, Gust now has a 60-second cooldown instead of 40 seconds. So lots of people continue playing it as if it has a 40-second cooldown, and that puts teams in trouble sometimes. Well, I've seen it multiple times, especially in Hero League where people aren't paying attention to draft notes. These guys should all know. A-Rubies is a pretty good false dead player, so I expect him to know as well what's going on. And Nesper just not able to hit anything with that hook.
Yeah, this Stitches pick is not yet panned out for them. He's been trying. It's not for a lack of trying, but he just has not landed those those X Factor level hooks that just change the whole dynamic of a team fight.
That's true. He hasn't. And the one time he did, I thought Thrall was going to go down, Lord Satan on Thrall, but he didn't. He just got cleansed. He walked right out of it.
Yeah, I mean there was cleanse. The burst healing from Uther, and if need be, there was divine shield. So it'd have been nice to at least bait that out. Kind of like how they baited out the mighty gust from Falstad there.
Yep,
I think
exactly.
that mighty gust to me shows how potentially rattled Noob Phelan might be. They're so worried about getting picked off. They're so worried about some kind of surprise engage that they're willing to just burn heroics to make sure that doesn't happen.
That's true, they are. And, I mean, it makes sense. I understand why, but it's a scary place when you're burning through your heroics like this. This is a scary place for RFS as well. They're in a 5v4. Percival and Ethics probably going to go down here. Oh, Ethics, you are in so much trouble. Lord Satan getting that Sunder out, but it's not going to save Ethics. They just need to leave.
I have to commend Droplets so much for that team fight. Uther was looking to use his divine shield at the last possible second, and that was a perfect wailing arrow that silenced him. He would have gotten out of there alive otherwise.
Yep, if it wasn't for those meddling kids and their dog. Sorry. Just what you said sounded so much like it. I couldn't not do it.
Never apologize for a Scooby-Doo reference.
Yeah. So RFS going up here, getting a few things. Needham gets pulled right back in immediately after jumping out of wolf form, so he is going to go down. Man, this is just
up here. This synergy between their composition is really coming to pass here. That was a nice hook from Nesper, and then ETC wrapped around a corner, and that power slide definitely secured the kill there on Greymane.
Yeah, it sure did. And RFS, needs a little bit tighter gameplay here. They're obviously still in it, and they're doing well. They're winning so far, technically. But if this keeps up, they could be in trouble late game.
Yeah, they want to try to stamp this momentum out before it really starts to take hold. Noob Phelan has to feel at least a little emboldened by getting some of these kills and making this composition work.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully RFS, they have everyone here now. All their heroics are off cooldown. They can make something happen. Let's see what they do. A hook comes out on Needham. He is able to walk out of there, though. But a 4-man mosh pit ended early, but not early enough. That's still going to be enough damage to take down 2 people. Sunder comes out to stop people from getting in there, but Lord Satan now in trouble as well. This turned around hard. I thought RFS had it. I thought they could burn through their heroics and just do tons of damage. Not able to do it. That means that this Frozen Punisher is going to go the way of Noob Phelan.
We have ourselves a ball game here. You could not have more perfectly played their composition than Noob Phelan just did right now. That mosh pit into the wailing arrow. Did you see how many silenced there was?
Yeah.
Like their whole team got silenced. That was amazing.
Yeah, the mosh pit got ended a little early, but it was still that half a second to a second of not moving was enough to make sure that RFS lost 2 people.
The way they had that time, it was almost like they were baiting out the interruption from mosh pit to make sure that the wailing arrow landed.
Yeah, it did
Because
kind of seem like that.
A full duration mosh pit wouldn't have needed that wailing arrow.
That's true. And this John Cena's getting a lot of work done. Meanwhile, Droplets is back here just shutting everything down. They're going to back off now. Smart play. They just need to go pick up Merc camps. They should go bottom and pick up the siege camps first for the invade, because RFS is just stuck cleaning up this camp.
Yeah, this game is swung around 180 degrees completely. They ran through the top fort. They got the top keep wall. They're on the verge of 16 now. Everything is looking right for Noob Phelan.
Yeah, it sure is. RFS coming in here trying to defend against this invade. I think they're going to be able to do it. They have all their heroics up again, and it's kind of a tight area. So if Lord Satan decides he wants to, he can stun all of them, push them all into walls. That increases the stun of Sunder. So yeah, I mean they had a good shot, and they're going to try and invade themselves.
Yeah. Noob Phelan is this close to level 16. There's no point in risking takedowns over a siege camp.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I did not notice the level advantage that they had. It is huge.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a whole level of talent here, especially 16, is a major problem. RFS just has to bail.
Really dicey for them to go in on that siege camp at all. Like Noob Phelan was not 16 yet at the start of that, but if that fight was prolonged, they definitely could have found themselves in a weird spot being down a tier.
Yep, I agree with you there. So we'll see just if how able they are to come back. They are down a whole level. They're down a talent tier. They need some soak here. Looks like they're going to go top and clean that up. Probably pick up this Merc camp as well. Need ham, going ham on the Merc camp. Meanwhile, bottom, we have a team fight coming out. This is an ugly fight on all ends.
Well, I like the idea behind it. You have the level 16, talent advantage. You have Sylvanas on your team. Why not force a fight? Either force RFS to try to come in and fight down a tier, or just concede that fort for free.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you're exactly right that fort, they were going to get it one way or another. It didn't matter. RFS they were kind of on the back foot. They've been on the back foot for a couple of minutes now. They're finally caught up in talent tiers. So they need to pull something out here.
Yeah, we're going to see what kind of grit RFS has, because they've definitely taken one on the chin in the middle part of this game. They're going to have to rally and regroup, find their way back into this, and take a team fight.
Yeah, Ethics got pulled in there, but no follow-up on the hook there. Nesper doing a great job of landing those hooks. It's just he has no follow-up.
At the very least, he's scaring RFS. They have to be on the lookout. Their eyes have to be jumping out of their skull every time they see that hook fly across the screen.
Yep, that is true. They sure do. But this is an ugly fight, mainly because it's a 5v4. A Rubies is coming in from the top now. But New Phelan needs to get in here. Everyone still has their heroics up. Nothing's been used yet. Everyone's just waiting for that perfect opportunity to get something done. And a bunch of poke coming in here. Sleepy Bear popping off abilities, but not able to hit anybody with anything, really.
I feel like this is the Heroes of the Storm equivalent to like a barroom brawl. Both of these teams just kind of jumping in here and going after each other. And wow, Greymane goes down really quick during the Wailing Arrow silence. Astrobov slides in and lands a sick mosh pit to secure 2 more kills in a 3-to-1 exchange. Or 3-for-0 exchange.
It's about to be a 4-for-0 exchange as Ethics goes down. And if Sleepy Bears overstays his welcome, he's going down 2. That was fantastic. So what they need to do now is they need to back off. They need to leave one person up here. They're doing it. Tone Phone is slowly getting the kills on those Guardians. He doesn't want to get all of them. He just wants to get to 39, so they have 1 left. Then they go, they push. They do as much damage to these buildings as they can. They have a Sylvanas on their side. They just need to take this fort down. Then they can go back, pick up their last kill there, and get John Cena out. Because this means that they're going to be pressuring another keep.
I love this decision from Noob Phelan to wait on capturing the Punisher and using Sylvanas and exploiting her ability to lock down these towers to do some free structural damage.
Yep.
Wow, Dropless does take a lot of damage there from
they need to go now, though.
But yeah, they don't want to wear their welcome out. They want to just get this last minion here and then set up for a push on this middle keep.
Yep, that's exactly what they need to do. I agree, but they're not going after the minion. They're going to go after their Bruiser camp up top first. I like this. It's going to get split push for them for free. Hey, Ruby's trying to take this camp by himself, but he's about to be in trouble.
Yeah, he's going to want to clear out of there. They're not yet 20, and he's completely by himself. RFS would have came in there, and he wasn't getting away from that if they found him there.
No, not if they rooted him. He was going to be in a load of trouble. He does go back, mana up, health up. They just need to kill 1 more. And now the problem is the longer they wait, the more map control RFS is going to have. They're just letting them go. There it is. There's the final one. John Cena's coming out. Nesper uses his bile, toxic bile. I'm not a fan. He did get rooted immediately. Lord Satan probably in trouble here. He gets pushed back. He gets stunned. He's going down.
On an island, he gets completely deleted here. I love the idea that Noob Phelan has put together here. They did take the Bruiser camp for the split push, and they waited until they had their level 20s. Captain, this is probably going to hurt. This is probably going to hurt a lot.
Yes, it is going to hurt a lot. No probably about it. Percival getting stunned out of using his Unstoppable. He does get the D-Shield. He is going to be able to get out, but no level 20, which means he does not have Indestructible. He is just taking damage. Ethics trying to keep him up, but man, the amount of damage that's coming out, what all can he do?
This might be the beginning of a Game 3 setup here, Captain. They have their heroics. The keep goes down. The Punisher still has a good amount of health left. And they're on the keep. Or they're on the core. The shield's almost dead. I think they have this game.
Yeah, I think this is game. There is a chance that RFS could come back, get a couple of kills, do a bunch of damage, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. At best, their core is going to be at like 15%, but it's just dropping. They're getting the kills, but it's not fast enough. That's game. They're trying so hard.
Oh my god. Oh my.
Huh. So about that, it's at 1%.
Jaw dropped.
They just have to push. They know they have to push. They are going bottom. They're going to push this bruiser camp in. They have to still get through a whole keep. They have 30 seconds. That's it. That's all they have. They have to do it now.
I am rendered speechless. I can only imagine what New Phelan.
They just sidewalled. They don't even care.
To the wall. Very nice decision there. They're going to burn this keep down 18 seconds before anyone is even up. Falstad's going to be up. He has his level 20 heroic. Did he take the... He took Epic Mount, so he's not even going to be able to continue to push them away with Mighty Gust. I think this might be game again for the
my goodness.
RFS.
Holy crap, guys. This is amazing. This could be game the other way. We did not think this was going to happen. They have just a few seconds till everyone is up. I think... No, they can't. They can't contest it.
Too much pressure.
Holy crap.
My God.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Such an awesome comeback. Wow. Wow. RFS, that was incredible. Your core has 1%, guys. 1%, and it was poisoned. You didn't know if it was going to live or not. You could have died to poison damage on a core.
Wow. I don't smoke. I might need a cigarette after that one. That was...
I need a beer.
Yeah. So
Man.
earlier in the game, I said we're going to see what kind of grit RFS has, and I submit to you,
all of it.
There is no better display than keeping your core alive at 1% and then turning around and taking the game.
I am watching. They don't know. Okay, so I'm watching the stream right now.
Yeah, the chat channel.
It is level 20 to level 17. RFS is pushing in with John Cena right now. They don't even have a keep down. Holy crap. I cannot wait for them to see this because this is amazing. RFS is down a person. Thrall is dead right now. How did they do that?
PogChamp.
I don't know. I don't know.
Droplet said I'm tilted. I don't know how you... I don't know what I'd say.
I just gotta tell them people are calling GG. They don't know. They have no idea. They have no idea. Oh my god. Guys, that was the most incredible ending to a game I have ever seen. Ever seen. Wow. Wow. No, they don't know. They still think it's game.
Hayu2 in Twitch chat said it has expressed it best. Not like this. Not like this.
Yeah. Man, they don't know. They don't know what's coming. That is, guys, that was incredible. I'm gonna move on. I could talk about that all evening because that was simply amazing. Anyway, we're gonna move on to, if you guys want to get involved, please do. Email me, Captain Cardone wow, I almost gave my work number. Captain Cardone at gmail.com. Feel free to email me about getting involved with casting or admitting. I will pass it on to the right person. If you want to play the game, if you want to play in our tournaments, please do. Exclamation point NexARAMas for our ARAM tournament. Exclamation point NexVerse for our this tournament, our Sunday, I guess, normal tournament, NexVerse. And if you want to get involved in other tournaments as well, let me know. I can get you links for any of those. You can find me on Discord, and we're happy to have you. That was an amazing game. Thank you so much, RFS and NoobFilm. It was amazing watching you guys. Thank you for coming out. Man, I'm watching my reaction now. I was freaking out.
Yeah, I mean, 1%.
Yeah, 1%, and it was poisoned. It could have died. Wow. So, yeah, get involved. We'd love to see the Heroes community grow. Congratulations to RFS for winning this week on 1% of their core left. That was incredible. As always, I'm Captain Cardone. You can find me on Twitter at Captain Cardone. I post a lot of stuff about the amateur scene, depending on whether or not anybody wants to pick me up for pro stuff. Just shameless plug there. I will post about pro stuff as well. So if you want to follow the amateur scene, let me know. Follow me on Twitter. I'll get you all the updates. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/_Halorin. I'm also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Halorin. Follow me, check me out.
Alrighty. Thank you, Halorin, for being on the show. I'm glad we were finally able to get you on.
I've had a blast, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And as always, if you guys want to get involved, please do. And we'll see you again next week here on the NexVerse.
All right.
Take care.